Hey, thanks for all the calls. I saw you, Shot Rider. Thanks for the call, man. And then I got a text message as well, so I appreciate that. I was just yapping. All right, so let's start over with this. All right, welcome back to Man Now Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we are discussing LeBron James, and another attempt at him to I don't know, diminish something that he feels is threatening to his legacy. Now he's a expert on the triangle offense and knows that the triangle wouldn't work in his era. Man, we go get into that sound bite and discuss what he said. I mean, I really can't. I can't believe it, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't believe what I was hearing, but it goes right on with what he's been doing with this Game to Mind podcast. Shout out to my boy Apex Jones from X. Y'all go follow him on X, but shout out to him. That's where I got that from. Game to Mind. That's exactly what he's doing with this podcast. It seems like most of his efforts with this podcast is really to figure out ways to kill or make null and void any threat to his legacy or any threat to his pursuit at being the GOAT. You know, he's I mean, there's no proof that he's behind that we're done with the 90s thing. You know, there's no proof that he's behind that, but you know, that's one effort. Let's discredit the entire 90s era by saying that nobody could play in that era and everyone was basic and lacked this or lacked that, wasn't the great athlete, and there was only one great athlete, which was Michael Jordan. So how important or how impactful was he really if he was just playing against bums, right? So they try to downplay an entire era of 90s basketball. They try to, now they're saying rings don't matter, which we'll get into after this segment. We'll discuss that ring culture comment he made. So now rings don't matter. They talked about how superior the offenses and the players and the skill set is now. So you got that part. I mean, it's just so many things that he's been doing. Now he's trying to tell you, oh, the offense that they ran, which is Mike and Kobe, that offense is just, oh, it wouldn't even work now. Like we're so superior now that offense wouldn't even work. The triangle wouldn't work, which is rich coming from a guy who never played in the triangle. Like when someone asks you a question about the triangle offense and you never played in it, the best thing that you should be doing is punting, saying, you know what, that's a good question for Mike, or that's a good coach question for Scotty, or Phil, or Kobe if he was alive, or even Shaq, even Derek Fisher, even Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman. Ask them that question. I'm not the expert to answer that. I'm not in the know of what the triangle was all about. I didn't even play against the triangle, right? So not only did you not play in the triangle, you didn't play against the triangle, right? So the perfect answer would have been, I really don't know if it'll work, right? Not try to be a authoritative figure and say, nah, it wouldn't, and this is the reason why, and just be loud and wrong in your reasonings, and then get your echo Steve Nash to the co-sign it and sound just as loud as wrong. So I'm gonna play for you what this man said about the triangle offense, and we go get into it, because we gonna have to break it down. We're gonna have to look at some film. We're gonna have to listen to some real experts talk about it, and then we're gonna have to open the phone lines up and see what y'all say about it, right? So this is LeBron James and this is Steve Nash on Game to Mind podcast, asked about the triangle offense. I set it up for you. What really happened is they did the episode just on questions and answers. So they said they opened up their either their email or one of their social medias to fans to send in questions, and they said they got a ton of them, right? So of course you probably took about 10 of those questions. So I think this episode, it was about 10 questions that was asked, and they answered it. And imagine, let's say they got 1,000 questions. I know they probably got more because they got over 1 million followers on their social media. So let's say they got 1,000 questions. I hope y'all can't hear that lawnmower outside, but it's a lawnmower out there. But let's say they got 1,000 questions, How did you narrow it down to the 10 that you narrowed it down to? And why was the triangle offense question one of your questions that you was like, yep, let's take that? Like, you had 2 opportunities not to make yourself look this silly. One, when you first seen the question and when you was producing the show, nah, we're not going to answer that question. Let's find another one, something that I'm an expert in, right? If there was no agenda, why did you pick that question to air it on your show? Number 2, on the show, why sound like an expert when you're not? Right? So they had an opportunity to punt this one, but they wanted, no, we want to do this, right? And I'm gonna give you my reasoning why I think he wanted to do this. But let me play for this first, so y'all can hear it.
We are very fortunate to have incredible fans online in the game. And we put it out there to our community to ask questions. So this will be a Q&A episode, and we got a ton of questions,
Love that.
Great questions.
Love that.
And we really appreciate the support and all the fans out there tuning in all the time. So thank you very much. All right, Laker Nerd asks, why is the triangle offense less utilized in today's game?
All right, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pause it through this because it's so much BS. I won't be able to catch everything if I don't pause. So I apologize. We're going to be pausing this.
Pace and space. And, the way teams switch basketball, switch everything now, it'd be very challenging, to run the triangle. And obviously the triangle was great, in its time. It was, great offense. Tex Winter, obviously, great and Phil and them implementing that into the NBA and having that, that pinch post game with the gaggle action on the backside, being able to, read and react off of there.
2-man and 3-man
games. I thought, it was definitely a great ecosystem to have. I just think the game is so much more spread out now. The 3-point shooting now.
All right, stop, because I'm about to throw up. So he said the first thing he said as soon as they asked that question, for someone who's never played in a triangle to be so ready to answer that question without taking a deep breath and thinking like, that's a good question. This is premeditated. Like, he knew that question was coming. He knew that was one of the questions that was, this is not impromptu. This is not a surprise. He knew that. So his answer was ready. This is what he wanted to say. Right. And for the first words to come out of as soon as he said, why doesn't it work? Space and pace. So you telling me your first answer to why the triangle offense doesn't work is because what the other offense is doing? Like, how does space and pace affect what the triangle is doing? No. If Phil Jackson was coaching right now, let's say he was coaching the Thunder, and OKC utilize SGA the way they utilize Kobe and Mike, and in the triangle, and then they utilize Jalen Williams the way Pippen you get what I'm saying? Imagine if that was the case and they was running that offense. Just because the era is space and pace doesn't mean that your offense has to implement that. Like, you don't have to play that way. Like, just because the era say play that way, because whatever the era was when they first implemented the triangle offense didn't conform to everything that was going on. It was different. They were the only team running it. Now you got other teams running concepts of the triangle, but not the exact triangle because they don't have Tex Winter, Phil Jackson, or someone that was in that circle coaching them to it. That's why every time Phil Jackson tried to do something as far like when he was with the Knicks basketball president of operations, he tried to bring in Steve Kerr or Derek Fisher so he can implement the triangle with Stoudemire, J.R. Smith, and Carmelo Anthony. Right? He needed somebody that already knew the offense to run the offense. Whenever he changed coaches, coaching franchises, when he went from the Bulls to the Lakers, the first thing he did is found players from the Bulls that knew the triangle to bring in so they could help teach and run the triangle on the floor. Right? So Ron Harper came to the Lakers with him. So did Horace Grant come to the Lakers with him for a few. Then he went and got Rodman with the Lakers. That didn't work out. He was too old and too stuck in his ways off the court. But that was the attempt to get more players. He tried to get Scottie Pippen before he went to Houston. he always tried to bring people who knew the offense and ran it with him, right? So I just don't understand why space and pace would be a problem. So you can connect that. Space and pace is not going to affect any team trying to run the triangle. Then he said the way the game is being played, the 3-point shots and all that stuff, just because everybody else is shooting threes don't mean my offense have to be a straight up 3-point contest. And nonetheless, there was a lot of threes that came out of that triangle offense. Like when the ball went in the post to Shaq, Kobe, or Mike, even if it went in the post to Dennis Rodman, you might not double him, but you got to respect what's going on off the ball. That's why Draymond Green, when he gets the ball in the post, he's a threat to pass because you got cutters, Clay, Steph, Iggy, Durant, whoever the case may be, they're cutting. It's it's player movement. It screens off the ball. It's so much stuff going on. Every man is dangerous on the floor because every man has the freedom to make a play, have a play made for him. They can pass and they all can shoot. They all are a threat. They're running the offense. That's different than one player being responsible for all the passing, and no player is moving except that one player that got the ball. He's moving all over the place, right? Like the queen on the chessboard, and then the pawns can barely move. They're restricted. They can go one space, they can barely do nothing. So you got your shooters in the corner, you got a shooter on weak side on the arc, and then you got your screen setter for LeBron or Nash or Luka or James Harden or Westbrook or whoever running that offense. You got that screen setter, and then you got the player with the ball. He's got all the freedom in the world and all the space because everyone is on the 3-point line, not in the paint. Everyone's on the 3-point line, but they're restricted like pawns on the chessboard. They can't go too many places. And only that one guy has the freedom of movement to go everywhere, like a queen. And then he makes the pass to everyone based on where the double team is going to come from. The double team might not come, so now you got to go all the way to the rim and get a shot off, right? Which is how he got exposed in the finals so much. And I'm talking about LeBron, because when they decided not to double him, he couldn't get his other teammates involved. He ended up with 35 points, but they ended up with the loss and the largest margin of victory in any finals. That happened to him 2 or 3 times, right? So what does he got to do to make that work? Well, if I get another guy that's just as good as running that high screen and roll, drive and kick, then you got 2 of us doing it. And then if we play perfect basketball, we might can win. So you find out you can't win in Cleveland. You go to Miami with Wade and say, okay, now me and Wade both go run this. That'll even it out, but then you still end up losing by a wide margin to Kawhi, Tim Duncan, and the Spurs. So they don't work every single time. You couldn't even 3-peat with that super team, right? Then you go back to Cleveland and say, oh, me and Kyrie could do it. And then when he left, you couldn't do it no more. Then you go to LA and was like, let's do a little something different with AD. That's not really work for real, but it worked for a bubble ring. It worked for a tournament. You won a tournament. Now, after that, you can't win no more. Let's see if I can do it with Luka. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at all the stuff you have to do to make whatever offense you think is suited for this era. Look at all the things you got to do to make that work. All right, let's keep going.
The attempts on 3-point shooting,
right.
The space. Obviously, back when they were running it,
all that stuff is inside.
Yeah, everything was inside the 3-point.
He's struggling. He forgot what he wanted to say. Steve Nash had to jump in and help. All that stuff is inside the 3-point line. What difference do it make? 3-point shot has no effect on it. If a team decides, look, man, we're going inside, you don't have to shoot a lot of threes. Just get the buckets. OKC is showing you that now. They don't shoot a ton of threes, and neither do their best player. This is dumb.
Bill Cartwright and Luke Longley and Horace was kind of a hybrid. He shot a lot of long twos, but none of those guys, Dennis Rodman, none of those guys was really shooting threes.
Right.
So they built a system that was perfect for their personnel.
Right.
But now
That system was not built for the personnel. That system, Tex Renters ran that system in college. That system was not built for the personnel that they had on neither one of those teams. That system was already built, and the personnel had to learn that system. That wasn't built for the personnel. Like what they do in Golden State is a variation of the triangle. Steve Kerr has admitted to that, but it's also built toward that personnel as far as Clay and Steph, right? You're not going to be able to run it the same way that you ran it with Clay and Steph with any other personnel. It has to be those type of deadly shooters the way they do it, right? It's a variation of the triangle, but with 3-point shooting in mind, right? That's more catered toward the personnel. When you have a real system, it don't matter the personnel, we can run it. The Princeton offense was coined the Princeton offense because they ran it at Princeton, and they ran it for years, no matter what players came in to play for Princeton. And when the coach that was I don't know if he was the head coach or one of the assistants at Princeton, when he became an assistant in Sacramento with Rick Adelman, they ran a variation of the Princeton offense in Sacramento. That offense already existed before it got to Sacramento, so you're not catering it to your personnel. The triangle wasn't catered to Michael Jordan and that personnel. It was the offense, and it is what it is. It's not catered.
The game is just so much different, to try to run the triangle offense right now. It'd be very challenging, just because how the game is played, and also how defense is covering. You could take a lot of things away, now by just like switching a lot of things.
Yeah.
He said it'd be very challenging the way the game is played, and the game is played space and pace, fast pace. What does that have to do with the triangle? Your offense doesn't affect how I run my offense. So we can just exit that out. Space and pace, you can get rid of that. I can deal with you saying that switching on defense has something to do with it. I can deal with that. But saying that space and pace is somehow going to affect how we run our offense, that's dumb. Like you don't have to be a thermometer. You can be a thermostat. You can be a temperature setter. You don't have to be somebody to just read the temperature, right? So whatever the climate is in the NBA doesn't mean you have to conform to it. Well, he's trying to act like Phil Jackson's going to show up to the NBA and be like, "Oh shoot, we have to play basketball this way," because everybody else is doing it. No, that's not the truth. Like I said, OKC is proving that. That's not the truth, right? So we can deal with you saying that switching will disrupt a lot of that stuff, which is funny because they had this conversation when JJ Redick was on Game to Mind podcast. And I also think it's funny that this is his second attempt at trying to start the conversation around the triangle so, it can catch fire and we can start talking about how, oh man, it would not work. Nobody is buying it. He tried it before, right? So this time is a fan question that came in. Like, I want you to get into the mindset of a fan that if you say, hey, you have one opportunity to ask LeBron James something for his podcast, I want you to get in the mind of a fan that would say, the number one thing I want to ask LeBron James is about the triangle offense. Knowing LeBron James never ran or played against the triangle offense, I want to ask LeBron about the triangle offense. So he wants us to believe that a fan sent this question in and asked him to answer a question about the triangle. That's the first thing he wants us to believe. The second thing he wants us to believe is that last time they had this type of discussion, they had an episode produced based around actions and offenses and all that stuff. And JJ Redick just came out and was like, oh, by the way, somebody asked me this. It was introduced kind of the same way. Somebody supposedly asked JJ Redick about the triangle as well, and they had a conversation about it. But coincidentally enough, it was about switching as well. But JJ said something different than what him and Steve Nash are saying. This is what JJ said.
Somebody asked me this the other day, they're like, triangle concepts. Nobody runs the triangle anymore, right? Does it exist in the NBA? And the truth of the matter, there are still concepts that exist. So we don't, the Chicago cut, which was when you throw it in the post, the guard would cut through, screen in the middle of the paint for the big guy. You don't want to switch that. If you do switch it, Pekovic from Minnesota would catch the ball at 5 feet against me and just jump hook, right? Easy breezy. Teams don't really run the Chicago cut anymore.
So JJ Redick claimed that somebody asked him about the triangle, and he was talking about, basically, he didn't poo-poo it all the way like LeBron and Steve Nash is doing, but he was like, I mean, you could switch some of the actions in the triangle, but when you switch it, you're still going to be at a disadvantage depending on how they counter it and whatever they, you know what I'm saying? They can still get their shot right. So switching is all already accounted for in the triangle. Like, and what LeBron is talking about, switching is effective when you're running high screen and roll every single play, because when you run a high screen and roll, you're supposed to gain an advantage for the ball handlers. The ball handler is supposed to get an advantage because you're running a high screen and roll with a defender that's a likely matchup for the ball handler, right? So when you have a big setting the screen on a little, you got a decision to make. Does that little want to go under the screen and give the ball handler the jump shot? Does he want to go over the screen and chase the ball handler, which is going to make the defender that's guarding the screener have to hedge or switch, which could give up a lob threat, could give up a pocket pass that could lead to a basket, unless the guy all the way from the corner rotates, which now the ball handler can make that pass to the three-point shooter. Like, it's a lot of things that come off that screen and roll action, right? So it causes some problems, and some of those problems are fixed when all 5 men on the floor can defend multiple positions. And now, instead of me trying to hedge or get over or under a screen, now I can just switch it, and the guy that's switching is not at a disadvantage because he also can guard whoever the ball handler is. That's what switching causes trouble for, because it disrupts what you're trying to do with screen and roll actions. When you switch it, I didn't gain no advantage. I didn't get that short roll. I didn't get that lob. You didn't have to come and help off the corner, so I can't make that pass. So now all I got is a switch, and now I'm in ISO situation with maybe a lesser defender that was already on me, but still nonetheless a defender that's capable. So now what am I doing? I'm going to one-on-one, right? So, I mean, that's the only reason why switching is disruptive in this era now. But back then, switching wasn't really disruptive because it was actually kind of productive, because if you switch back then, teams were not afraid to go in the post to their big man. So if my big man come and screen your guard and you switch, Michael Jordan is not going to look at Karl Malone and be like, oh, a mismatch, and I got Luke Longley with a 7-footer with Stockton on him. So there, go right down to that post and throw it in the post, and you either go have to foul or give me a 2-point basket. Right? So they wasn't scared to go in the post back then. Now they get a switch. Now they think the ball handler is the person with the mismatch that's furthest from the goal, when you got a 7-footer that's closer with a mouse in the house. Right? So switching actions in the triangle, first of all, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities to switch because we're not running high screen and roll every play. Right? That's not what they do in the triangle. Right. And then if you do switch, you're switching some of these off ball screens, not on ball screens. And when you switch off ball screens, we still account for that because we still can gain an advantage with some of the backdoor cuts and all that stuff. I'm gonna show you in some film, right? Let's continue with LeBron.
Depending on your personnel, obviously, that has a lot to do with it. But I think it was great in this time. But I don't see how it could, it could be good. You can use certain things from it.
Yeah,
there's still like, like you run 21, we run 21 where you pitch it ahead and chase it, that's basically an extended version of kind of the triangle when you hit
taking components
off of it. They used to, MJ would be on the baseline and then, kind of use the Chicago screen off Luke Longley or one of the centers to get a catch in the middle of the lane. There's certain things that have been taken. If you watch our game, there's small little bits that's been taken from the triangle offense that teams and players run that's still there. So it still has an impact in our game. It's just the whole landscape is not. I don't think so.
It'll be interesting.
So most of it is rambling. Like the first part of it is it can't work because of space and pace and the 3-point shooting, which has no effect on how you run your offense. Then he said the switching would make it difficult. Switching is not going to affect the triangle offense. It's not. And you know, you think they didn't think about that in the 90s? They thought about switching as well, right? And furthermore, just look at the Golden State Warriors offense. It's a variation of the triangle, so and it's working well, right? So switching is not going to work. Now he's talking about all the variations that you see in the NBA basketball now that people are running that they took from the triangle offense, saying that it works. Like it's multiple. So listen to how crazy this sounds. There's multiple pieces of the triangle offense that work still. So let's say it's 12 parts, 12 different. First of all, he don't even know all the he don't even know the ins and outs of the triangle offense, right? Remember Michael Jordan doing an interview after that first three-peat with Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. I did a video on that. And the interview asked them, how long did it take y'all to get and fully understand the triangle offense? They said 3 years. They said it took them 3 years to fully understand it. That's 3 years of playing in it, 82 games a season, and all of those practices it took, and all of that film work it took for 3 years with Phil Jackson for them to fully understand it as players. And you mean to tell me a player who's never played in it, never played against it, understands it, right? So he's saying there's pieces of it that still that you can see in the league, but if you put all those pieces together, the whole thing don't work.
I'm going to hear Tex, his thoughts on how it would adapt to this. Yeah. What tweaks would it make? Because I think you're right. Like, it's just too punishing. Yeah. It's too difficult and too punishing to cover the space and pace game, right?
Does he know the triangle offense is an offense and not a defense? He said it's too difficult to cover the space and pace. You got to be kidding me, Steve Nash. Like, this is what happens when you try to advocate for something that's obviously wrong, but you're trying to advocate it because what y'all see, what y'all objective and goal is. You don't care how you get to that goal, but all the things you're saying to try to get there sounds silly. And this is why Steve Nash ain't a freaking coach now. Did he really just say the space and pace aspect? Like, they're trying to reinforce what made them good. Like, space and pace is the only reason why Steve Nash got MVPs and why he's considered a great. I mean, he's a great player. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, seriously, like the space and pace, you're trying to validate that, and you got 0 finals appearances in that offense. You can't validate that. You can't validate one guy having the ball for most of the shot clock, most of the possession, most of the game, and he's just running around screens and trying to get open threes, and that's it. Like, you just can't validate that. He's trying to help validate. Like, they're all in agreement that, hey, look, man, the more we talk about this and bring down this aspect, it prompts us up. This man just said space and pace. You just can't run the triangle offense. I'm still trying to figure out how the offense for the other team affects us running the triangle.
You got it. The guys are stretching the floor to the deep corner. Out.
What difference does it make if they stretch the floor on the other end of the floor? We got the ball now. I don't care what you did on offense. We got the ball now.
The hash marks. Guys are flying down. Like, are you in the gaps or you're not? What are you giving up? Like,
this is
some
bad.
People say maybe the game's gotten more homogenized, but like we talked about, it's more the jazz, the feel, play out of principles. That's what's hard to defend. Right. When you know what someone's running every time, even with their counters, that predictability can be problematic. Along.
He said, when you know what they're running, even with their counters, there's another guy who never played in the triangle offense. He said, when you know what they're running, even with their counters, it's predictable. So you would rather have, so I want you to get this straight. It's predictable running the triangle offense. So it being predictable means that it should be easier to guard, but unpredictability should be harder to guard. But this is the issue I have with something that's unpredictable. It's not only unpredictable to the defense, so to speak. So you saying it is. As a matter of fact, it's not unpredictable to the defense, because if that's all you're running, then it's even more predictable than the triangle, because the triangle does have counters, right? But when you're running high screen and roll, 2 guys in the corner and another 3-point shooter, you got 3 3-point shooters spreading the floor, and one screener and one ball handler run high screen and roll, you either going to roll and I'm going to throw the lob or the pocket pass, or you're going to rotate someone over to stop the roll, and I'm going to throw the pass to the 3-point shot that you just double from, or you're going to screen and pop, right? That's predictable. The only thing that's unpredictable is what the ball handler is going to do. That's the only thing that's unpredictable. But guess what? Guess who else can't predict that? His 4 teammates. So his 4 teammates can't predict it either, right? So you would rather have, and Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant, they both called it accidental basketball. The reason why it's accidental because no one really knows what's going to happen. Not even really the ball handler until the last minute, because he's got to read. It's like the read option. Like the quarterback, you call a play, read option, and I got either an option to hand it off to the running back or pull it out and keep it, right? The offensive line don't even know what he's going to do. They just run blocking either way, because once he pull it, the quarterback got to run as well. So the offensive line don't know if the running back's go get it or if the quarterback's going to keep it. They don't know. They just run block. The running back don't know if he's going to get it or the quarterback's going to keep it, right? And the only way that the quarterback knows what he's going to do is based on when he reads the outside linebacker. If the linebacker commits to the running back getting the ball, then you actually got to put the ball in the running back's breast pocket. You got to put it in there like it looks like just a run. And the running back don't know if you go pull it out or not. So sometimes you see fumbles because the running back will grab it too hard. And when the linebacker commits to the running back, the quarterback will try to pull it out, and they both got too tight of a grip on the ball, and now it's a fumble, right? Accidental basketball. Nobody knows, not even the quarterback knows what he's going to do until he decides, oh, I'm going to pull it out because the running back, the linebacker committed to the running back. So now I pull it out, and I should have that run lane but if the linebacker stays in that gap, anticipating the quarterback to run it, then he keeps the ball in the running back's chest, and then pretend like he pulled it, and then the running back takes off up the hole, right? That's basically what the high screen and roll offense is. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and the only reason why the ball handler knows is at the last minute when he sees if the guy doubles to stop that roll or if he stays, or if the double cheats over and help to stop the roll if he stays. That's what they call accidental basketball. We'll get Kobe's thoughts on that in a minute. That's accidental basketball. And yes, Young Disciple, your comment on screen, bro, really think LeBron don't know the triangle offense? Yes, I don't think he know it well enough to be up here telling someone and telling all his followers that it's not going to work in this era. I don't think he knows it that well. I think Kobe knows the triangle offense. I listen to what Kobe said about it, what Phil said about it, somebody who played in it and knows it in and out. I listen to what they say versus someone who never played in it.
With the switching. So yeah. I'd love to hear him know like how he would tweak it.
Yeah, I mean, Tex is so great. I guarantee he could, right. What would be, it's like almost like, like Bill Walsh, running the West Coast offense. Like they're running, he would probably, what would he do if he would make it to what it looks like today's game, but running it exactly how they ran it, in the 90s and early 2000s, I just don't.
Yeah, too easy to defend. You're forcing a lot of twos. Yeah. A lot of long twos.
He said too easy to defend and you forcing twos. What's wrong with the two?
It's just not a fit for this era, but it would be interesting to know.
It will be interesting.
Where he
that is not smart. Steve Nash will never get a job again. Not talking like that. That is not smart. There's something wrong with twos. I'm so glad Joe Dumars is changing this game back to what it's supposed to be. This junk is changing. All right. Good luck with people who think like that. He said it's just too easy to defend. What the hell? It's 6 championships with the Bulls, 5 championships with the Lakers. That's 11 championships. Wow. It's too easy to defend, huh? That's interesting. In a league that don't play defense, it's too easy to defend. In a league that switch everything and give you mismatches. The only reason why the mismatches can't get exploited is because of that way of thinking. a coach will coach a team to get a switch on a screen and have a 7-footer with a mismatch, and they tell that 7-footer to go to the corner so the ball handler can do a dribble drive and try to get a layup or a dish out. Like, imagine Muggsy Bogues playing in this era. He would have never came out of the game because if they would have switched screens, Muggsy Bogues would have been guarding Yao Ming, and in this era, Yao Ming would have had to go to the corner while whoever the point guard is can exploit whoever just switched on him. Muggsy Bogues would be like, shoo, I'm glad they didn't take me in the post at 5'3". Right? So that's idiotic. Let's do this though. Let's talk about guys who actually played in the triangle offense. What did Kobe say about it? And let me make sure I got everything. I mean, it's just unreal. But I want to hear what Kobe said about it. Kobe talked about it several times. Shaq talked about it. Phil talked about it. Jordan talked about it. Pippen talked about it. Like, there's a lot of people, man. But let's hear what Kobe Bryant said about the triangle when he was asked about it on the Knucklehead podcast.
The triangle offense, like, this is when I got to the league, I knew y'all play. Like, I felt like if I got traded to the Lakers, I already know the play.
Right.
Remember, Steve Nash said, if it's predictable, you can stop it. And the triangle is predictable. Right? Here's Darius Mara saying, I knew what y'all was going to do. I knew the plays, but we couldn't stop it.
Like, it's one play. I got a couple of side out of bounds plays, but y'all run this one play. Like, in today's era, how today's play, how today kids play. Yeah. You think the triangle will work in this?
You have the right people to teach it. Yeah. Like, because
y'all slow the game. You had to play at y'all pace.
Yeah.
No matter how
but the
fast,
triangle can be sped up too, right? So it conforms to the talent that you have. My 13-year-old daughter's team runs the triangle, right? But it's like, the thing about the triangle offense, which makes it so deadly, is that it gives you a structure. And within that structure, you have complete freedom. And so even though defensively, you know what it is, the sequence that we're executing, we have counters to it.
Counter to everything.
And we all know them. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
He said, even if you know what we're doing or what sequence we're running, we have counters. Not one counter, counters to every sequence, depending on what the defense is going to do. So everything is already accounted for. Switching, going over screens, going under screens, overplaying the passing lanes, sagging off in the passing lanes, fronting the post, backing the post, 3/4 guarding the post. Like, all of that stuff is already accounted for, right? And it's basically regular basketball concepts you learn in college. Like, we know against a zone that the most vulnerable spot on the zone is that free throw line. Anything in the middle, even with a press, the middle is vulnerable. But in a zone and half court, that free throw line is a very good, nice little sweet spot. But you just can't stand and camp out the free throw line. So it's more beneficial for a slasher to flash to the free throw line. Like, you got to go there quick. Like, when the ball rotates to the corner or to the arc, there should be once that zone moves and now those guys is guarding the ball got their back turned, that big man should quickly flash to the free throw line with his hands high, ready for the pass, right? Because you could get it there, turn, and there's a jump shot. You might not be able to get a dribble off, but you turn and there's a jump shot there, or there's a turn and whoever's on that block, if you're fronting the post in that zone, because you don't want to get caught behind the post player in the zone because you got to get out to the corner. So you're probably going to be fronting that post, maybe. But either way it goes, once that big man flashes to the free throw line, what that big man that was in the post supposed to do is seal whoever was guarding him, and now he's got inside position for a rebound if that big man missed that jump shot, or it can be a lob right there in the high-low situation, right? So That's why you seen Draymond, Jordan, Dennis Rodman, they used to flash to their elbow or to their free throw line a lot. There was another action in that triangle offense that you did. Like, you know, it's just so many things. Like even some of the screens they set off ball, it ain't no play that they running. It's just that simple basketball concepts will let you know that that screen is there to be set. You could do certain things. It's just, look, listen, it's just good basketball.
Right? Because Phil can start out and say, we want to run center opposite. That's the sequence we want to start with. But now if you deny the wing on that center opposite, that plays off. Now we have counters that come around that.
I used to hate when Robert Orr used to come up to the box, free throw line, grab the ball, and you back cut.
Yeah.
I used to be looking for that back cut every time.
Yeah, that's the backdoor step, right? So but that helped me game plan.
Yeah.
So like these players now play accidental basketball. It drives me and Phil crazy because it's all penetrating pitch. You may make the shot, you may not. You have no idea who's going to be open or whatever. It's accidental basketball. We play basketball with purpose. If I got the ball, if Derek Fisher's on the wing, I'm at the top. I know by scouting reports that you guys like to deny the top.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Deny the top. I'll move up a little bit more, drag you out. Here comes Ori stepping in the hole. Catch it. Here I go back door. There's the drop. Off I go.
Yeah.
Right. So it's playing those sequences and understanding what the defense is going to do against it that made them dangerous. That's why Chicago was so dangerous, because they knew how Utah was going to play these actions. And then they all five of them took advantage of it.
And they always keep you with spacing.
Always.
Like all the time. You don't never lap over each other.
No, always. They were really big on, having 10 to 15 foot spacing. Always.
So that's Kobe talking about it. Now, LeBron and Steve Nash, who never played in the triangle offense, right? LeBron and Steve Nash, who never played in the triangle offense, they're saying it won't work because it's too much spacing on offense on the other offensive end. Somehow the offense is going to play defense on the triangle offense. Like that's what they said. They said that the spacing that the teams are doing will stop the triangle offense. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I'm gonna say it again. The spacing that other teams are doing is going to stop the triangle offense. The other team spacing on offense is going to stop the triangle offense, right? That was the first thing they said. Then the second thing they said is it's too much switching in today's game. Switching will stop the triangle offense. And then Steve Nash, the third thing he said is it's too predictable. When did it become predictable? Was it always predictable? Because nobody was stopping it. 11 rings off the triangle offense. 11. That's more than LeBron and Steve Nash and everybody Steve Nash played with all put together. 11 rings off the triangle. When did it become predictable? And even if it is predictable, how does that equate to it being easy to stop? So you take their words or you listen to Kobe's words, who said, yeah, even if you knew what we was doing, we got counters off of it. Multiple. We're going to get our shot. We play with a purpose. We don't play accidental basketball. We don't play drive and kick, penetrate and kick basketball for 4 straight quarters. We don't do that because that's predictable. Number one. Number two, it's accidental. It doesn't even, you don't even know what's going to happen, where you're going to get your shot from. You at the mercy of the defense. I just think that's dumb though. I really think that's dumb. Let's hear some more people. Let's hear what Sasha Vujacic, who won a championship, 2 championships with Kobe. He did 2 or 3 podcasts this year. One was with Tony Allen and Zach Randolph. I forgot the name of their podcast. Out the Mud, right? Nobody knew Sasha Vujacic was this good of an interview. So I advise y'all to go watch that interview. Very informative, very good. That's why I'm using his soundbite. Then after he did that and that interview did numbers, Byron Scott was like, man, I'm a Laker. How was the first podcast I seen you on, not my podcast? How was it there? So he went on Byron Scott's podcast, another very good one, right? And then he went on a couple of more after that. But I hope to see him in broadcasting soon because he was pretty good. I gotta be honest about that. He was pretty good. So here's Sasha.
triangle offense or not, like if you look at the NBA today, everybody's playing the same exact way, and it's becoming annoying. The reason why we were so successful is because we were different than anybody else. There's no system that it's even close to the one we had. But what you need someone to teach that system properly, and you need a player like Kobe, somebody that's a franchise player that's, you know, for I always said, MJ and Kobe, two GOATs forever. Right. If you would have been with someone like that, that could actually explain it to you, give it to you, even in the middle of your career, you would adjust because you would understand what it means to be on the basketball court and playing the right way. Like, there are very few teams right now that are playing the right way. So when you ask me, I think the right way playing basketball, forget it, might be called triangle, might be called something else, like just playing the right way. Always, since the beginning, like players were the important ones, but at least they had people there that they kind of trusted. Okay, if I want to win, I actually better have a good coach, the coach that has been there, won, lost, and wants to give me something, not just to survive, but to actually go on a marathon with me to help me win a championship. But then again, if that player doesn't want a championship, if he wants just for his individual brand to grow on and off the court, so you got to find that killers. Right there. So you got to find killers.
That's what today's game is. It's all like my brand. You know what I'm saying? How can I build my brand? You know? That's kind of how you don't see it. That's why you ain't seen no back-to-back championships lately.
There's no dynasties. But I love it because you understand that. You play for a great franchise, and you know, winning back-to-back, there's nothing like it. And I'm not taking your 2008 away. You guys won, but I was always told by the greats, you got to confirm it. If you win, you got to confirm it. That's why for me in watching now, there are no back-to-backs. There are no like three-peats. Like Golden State was the only team that had a chance, but they still had to bring players, you know?
So look, I like what he said. Toward the end, I let that play because he said something toward the end that I'll probably do a show on later, man. But I've already mentioned that before, man. Like, you don't see back-to-backs that often. Like, you see one and dones. Giannis one and done. Jokic one and done. Kawhi in Toronto one and done. Steph one and done unless he had a super team with KD on it. Then he could go back-to-back and like Sasha said, almost got a three-peat. But without KD, it's one and done. He's one and done twice. Right. You know what I'm saying? He had two separate one and dones, but no repeats, can't get back. It's very hard to have a player that's so committed like Kobe and Mike that wants to go and continuously go back to back. I don't think Shaq could have done it without Kobe. Not no back to back. Maybe he could have got one, but back to back, no, that's a different type of engine. That's a different type of drive. That's not take the whole summer off and then come back and get in shape in the second month of the season. And you know, while I'm playing. No, that's not what Shaq had. A luxury of having a guy that can go for 40 or 50 while he played out of shape and lollygag and then got ready a quarter way through the season. Right? That's not going to get you back to back. That's the reason why Barkley couldn't get rings. Michael Jordan's critique on Barkley is he's never going to win because he's not committed enough to stay in shape. That's what he said. That's what Shaq was. Shaq was a 7-foot Barkley. Without a Michael Jordan level player like Kobe that was really ready at all times, Shaq wouldn't have multiple rings, man. He wouldn't have 4. He probably would have 1 or 2. Probably 1 in LA, and then, you know, probably would have went somewhere else and team hop and got another one, man. But, you know, once he got out of shape, you know, he got in shape 1 year for Miami, and then after that, he couldn't repeat with Miami. Right? So, you know, I mean, it takes a different type of person to be able to repeat and three-peat and all that stuff, right? So, but nah, he said that, yeah, it would absolutely work. You just got to have the right person to teach it. And that's the whole thing. You got to have the people that can teach it. You got to have the coach that can teach it and players willing to learn it. They tried to teach it in New York, but Melo didn't want to learn it. Melo did not want to learn it, and nobody else that played there wanted to learn it, right? Shaq talked about it.
It's not hard. You know, you just have to be able to sacrifice. You gotta like come off the ball. A lot of Knicks players, they just dribble between their legs, and it's okay, but it won't get you to that next level. With the triangle, the ball is constantly moving. the defense is second guessing what you're trying to do, and it definitely works. I know people will say, "Oh yeah, of course it works with Michael and Scotty and Shaq and Kobe. It's easier," but New York has some similar players who can really fit in that triangle system. They just have to sacrifice and just run it. If you run it, it's worked.
Yeah, well, it's obviously worked for a lot of different players, and the Knicks for some reason haven't run a lot of it. They run, styles of it, but it's not
they
really
dribble too much, and they shoot too much, and they don't pass. Sorry.
I love that this comment popped on screen as Shaq was having a conversation from 12 years or whatever years ago when Phil was in New York, and the conversation was about why isn't it working in New York? Because Phil Jackson got hired as the president of basketball operations, and his first hire, he tried to get Steve Kerr because he wanted to implement the triangle offense in New York. Steve Kerr took the Golden State job, right? So he ended up hiring Derek Fisher so Derek Fisher can teach the triangle offense in New York. And there was several mishaps and, I guess there was a friction between the front office and Carmelo Anthony as the star player because Carmelo didn't run the triangle. And he spoke about it publicly multiple times, and him and Phil Jackson had a riff, and then that's when Phil Jackson started saying stuff bad about Carmelo, and then that's when LeBron James butted in, and then Phil Jackson said something about LeBron James and his posse trying to take up for Pat Riley in Miami after you get what I'm saying. So I remember all of this happened. I don't know how old you are like work, but bro, I come on, man. Like, know what you're talking about. Especially if you'll come on this platform, know what you're talking about. But yeah, they absolutely tried to run it in New York, and that's what Shaq was talking about. But yeah, I should block your ass for being dumb and saying that comment and being wrong, loud and wrong. I should block you. Right. So Shaq spoke about it, Sasha spoke about it, Kobe spoke about it, Steve Kerr spoke about it.
That was pretty cool. Phil, one of my mentors, the basketball education and coaching education I received from him and Tex Winter. I think about them literally every day. We do drill work and practice that we've been doing for 11 years that goes straight back to my days in Chicago. Our offense, a lot of it is based on the triangle. Watching Phil over the years, handle players and the relationships he built with them, pretty special to see him, offer those congratulations. That was very moving for me.
So that's Steve Kerr saying that, hey, look, man, Phil is still my mentor, and I think about them daily as I do things that I learn from them, including the triangle. Like, we run a version of the triangle here in Golden State. Championship team. So add their 4 rings to it. So 11 with Phil, 4 with Steve Kerr. That's 15 championships. It might be more than the Celtics. So you do the math. And this triangle is working now. Even Gilbert Arenas spoke about it.
Like, people think the triangle helped MJ. No, the triangle hurt MJ. MJ was the type of dude that he can get it his own. The triangle was to make sure everyone else played the right way. And eventually that ball gonna fire.
And everybody touched the ball.
Yeah.
We have to run a triangle with the Knicks. So
it's everybody touches the ball. Everybody touches the ball. Everybody get a feel for it. Because if not, no one's gonna touch it. Ant-Man to do crazy work because you can put him in the post a lot. Denver runs a little bit of that shit. Giannis can benefit from playing in a triangle. Luka, long split. Oh my
God. That bitch in the long, man. Listen, dog.
Yeah, so there you go. Last thing I'm gonna do before I open the phone lines up, y'all, is I want to show y'all just a little sequence. And the interesting thing about this sequence, and the very interesting thing about this is that it's Dennis Rodman and the bench players from Chicago on the floor running the triangle. getting a shot for Bill Winnington, a jump shot at that. 2 of them, right? They ran it. That was unsuccessful in getting a bucket because Bill Winnington missed the jump shot, but it was a very good shot setup. He missed it. Offensive rebound got tapped back out to the 3-point line. And then Steve Kerr ran it again on the other side and got the same exact jump shot. And this was all within, I mean, they couldn't take no more than 8 seconds off the shot clock. And I only seen no more than 4 possessions each time they ran it. I mean, not 4 possessions, no more than 4 dribbles each time that they ran it. Very interesting, man. So they on the floor with Randy Brown, Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman, Bill Winnington, and Judd Buechler. That's the 5 that was on the floor. Now, you tell me if these 5 players was on the floor right now in this era and they was running the high screen and roll offense that everybody like to run, can you tell me how they go get buckets with that offense? With high screen and roll? So what the triangle did, you were able to get very good shots regardless who was on the floor. Right? It could be your bench and you could run the offense. And that's why everybody keep complaining about, oh man, Jokic don't have helps. Have you seen the Jokic on-off minutes? What the plus minus is? Yes, because they run an offense that only Jokic can run. In order for you to run this offense, you have to be Jokic. So you created an offense that only works with Jokic on the floor, and then you wonder why the offense fails when Jokic goes sit down. That's not a plus. That's not something to brag about. That's an indictment on whoever implemented that offense. That's an indictment. That's not good. You're never supposed to implement an offense that only works with one person on the floor. That person could get hurt. That person can be tired. And that person might have to go sit down. That person can get in foul trouble. Like, I don't understand why we're bragging that the on-off minutes for Jokic is such a huge disparity. That's not a brag. Right? So let's see how you can get a shot when you run an offense versus running some, I don't know, some Jokic offense or some Luka offense or some Bron ball. All right, so you see Dennis Rodman with the ball right here. And they're about to form the triangle. You're going to see Judd Buechler run to the post, and you see Steve Kerr baseline running to the corner to form the triangle. Right, so there's Judd Buechler in the post. Rodman's going to look him off and go the other way. They formed the triangle, but Rodman rejected it. He didn't want to initiate it and go in the post at that time to Judd. So he threw it back to the top to Randy Brown, and they're running on the other side, and they're going to form the triangle on the other side, right? So now the ball goes over there. Randy Brown brings the ball there. It's going to go back up to the top to Steve Kerr, and then to the corner to Judd Buechler. Judd Buechler is going to look inside to Rodman in the post. The triangle is formed. He's not going to go to Rodman. He's going to go back to Steve Kerr because that's a better entry pass. As you see how close that pass was from the corner, the spacing wasn't quite right to make that pass. It would have made it a little harder. The on-ball defender could have got his hands on it, and it just would have been a crowd. So he threw it to Steve Kerr for a better angle. Now, who in their right mind want to go in the post to the Dennis Rodman? He's not even looking for his offense. But when you're running a real offense, it don't matter, right? So they're going to go on the post. There's the triangle being formed. They're going to go on the post. Rodman. Now, if you see, once Rodman got the ball in the post, this is what Draymond Green does in Golden State. As soon as Rodman got the ball in the post, there's 2 cutters. You see the baseline cut from Judd Buechler, and you see Steve Kerr cutting down the middle. That's that Chicago cut they was talking about. So what that does is the guy that's guarding Judd Buechler on the baseline, he's got to be ball you man. And he's not ball you man right now because he can't even see his man. He got his back turned, but he's afraid of giving up that back door because Rodman, if he's lagging, he could probably make that pass right there, depending on who that person is. But look at the guy that's guarding Bill Winnington on the weak side. he's cheating all the way into the paint because there's 2 cutters, right? And if the defenders is not denying the ball well enough, that bounce pass, even if he wanted to force that bounce pass to Steve Kerr right now, the defender is not even looking. So that bounce pass can absolutely go there and it can get to Steve Kerr. That's why that guy on Bill Winnington is cheating to the inside, because the inside is vulnerable to both of those cuts, right? So both of those guys are cutting. And now I want y'all to think about, at what point does switching disrupt this? Like Steve Nash said, oh man, if you switch, you just disrupt, you can stop the triangle offense. I want you to think about what's going to get switched. When are you switching at this point? And tell me, how is it going to stop anything, right? So Steve Kerr is cutting, and he's going to go right to the man that's guarding Bill Winnington, that's cheating to the inside, and screen him for Bill Winnington to get a jump shot. So he screens Bill Winnington's man, right? They're going to show you it again, right? Let it play. Both of those guys are cutting. Steve Nash is cutting. Right? Then he sets that screen right there on Bill Winnington. Now they can switch that. So he got a jump shot, and it was a brick. Judd Bushler bounced it out there. Watch, count the dribbles. 1, 2, 3, 4 dribbles. Now they're in a triangle. He took 4 dribbles. That's probably about 3 seconds off the shot clock. Now they're in a triangle again. They're going to get the same exact shot, but instead of Steve Nash directly screening, remember the last time Steve Nash cut, he went straight to Bill Winnington's man and screened his man. Look what he does this time. He screens the man that's guarding. It was actually a shadow screen. It looked like he was going to screen, but he really didn't get a piece of him. And then they went and kind of double screened for Bill Winnington to get the same jump shot. And I just want you to think, you having to guard all these cuts and all these actions, when was the switching going to disrupt anything? And he got the same jump shot. He got the same exact jump shot both times. And I want you to think, what was going to stop that? These ain't even the superstars on the floor. These aren't even the superstars on the floor. Think about that. These aren't even the superstars. I'm going to let y'all keep looking at that. I got to go see if I can fix this camera over here really quick. All right. I got the camera working again. All right, so I'm gonna open the phone lines up, y'all. And y'all call and y'all tell me what y'all think, because I'm interested to know. And I also get into some of these comments. I got super chats that came in. It's not that serious. Thanks for the super chat. He said no sound. Oh yeah, we got that. Another super chat came in. Can't hear. I'm sorry about that, y'all. 4 minutes of me yapping, and we couldn't even get it popping, man. $5 from James Reed. Why doesn't Labalco James just retire? I know why, because he would be irrelevant after 4 months. He's starting to look and sound extremely silly. Yeah, for sure, man. Every time he opened his mouth, I just don't understand this triangle offense expert thing, right? I don't get that part. Like, why you want to be an expert on the triangle offense? All right, the phone lines are open. Y'all can call in. Let me get to some more comments. Lightwork said Golden State runs, Chicago cuts. We already talked about that. We got a caller from Utah. This might be Carl Malone. Hold on, let me see who this is. Caller, can you hear me?
Yo.
Is this Carl?
Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, this Carl. Nah, this ain't Carl, man. This Aaron. Hey, Mel, this Aaron G, man. What's up, man?
What's up? I ain't heard from you in a while. What's poppin'?
Not much. Been on vacation, bro. But Lord have mercy, man. Look, LeBron LeBron is giving the YouTube streets all kind of sound bites.
Bro.
And his take on this triangle offense, the reason why he's acting like he knows it, but we know he'll never thrive in it because, for one, the triangle offense, when Jordan ran it, when Kobe ran it, either you had the defense cheating or they would send somebody to double. And it worked because with all the movement you had going on, if you went and you started cheating towards either Kobe or Jordan, or you actually sent the double, that's when that ball would swing. They knew that ball would swing. But then the question is, well, why would you send help? Why would you go double Jordan and Kobe? Well, they had footwork. And with that footwork, they could create their own shot back to the basket, face up. However they wanted to get that shot off, they could get it. You look at LeBron, he doesn't have any footwork. He doesn't have, his handles are mediocre. You could play LeBron straight up. So LeBron in the triangle offense, it wouldn't work because you wouldn't have to send nobody to go help on LeBron in the triangle offense. He just doesn't have the footwork. He doesn't have a go-to move. He doesn't have the back to the basket or anything that would require a defense to cheat or help. So I don't know why he's speaking on it because it wouldn't work with him.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe it will work, but it expose some of his weaknesses in his game. Right. Because he's unwilling to, I mean, you heard what Shaq said. He said but now he was criticizing Carmelo Anthony when he said this, but he said you gotta want to come off the ball. And even though we've seen not Carmelo, but LeBron come off the ball a little bit with Luka this season, right?
He can't really play. He can't really.
Right. Whenever it's time for him to get his buckets, he's still going to get the ball in his hand and be at the top of the key, utilizing a lot of time and a lot of dribbles and a lot of high screening rolls, which is not the triangle offense. I mean, you seen them just run it, and nobody really dribbled the ball, and they got two good shots. There was no dribble penetration. It was just a pass in the post and a couple of cuts and a couple of off ball screens, and they got a good high percentage shot 2 times in a row doing it the same. You get what I'm saying? So imagine getting a high percentage shot every single time, based on how you run your offense versus high screen and roll. I mean, I'm dribbling the ball so many times, and then depending on what a double team come, I might be making a cross cut pass for a 3-point shooter. I mean, that's high turnover basketball.
And with the high turnover rate, you got the defense knowing, okay, this guy's going to dribble the ball down, and if he doesn't have the shot, he's going to be looking to kick it out. As a defender, I know how to play that. Let me go ahead and bait him into throwing that pass and just intercept the ball. I've seen that happen for the past few years with him, where you'll have certain guys on defense that actually bait him into throwing that ball to the corners, to the sides, because that's where he likes to throw the ball with that high screen and roll. Mm-hmm. He likes to throw the ball to the side, and I've seen players bait him into throwing that pass, and they just intercept it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like, this mind the game. First, you got a coach who was a failure. He couldn't do anything with the star power he had. and you got a guy that really needs to retire.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy, but I love it because it keeps you guys with material.
It sure do, because I would rather be talking about something else right now, man. But golly, man, like man, this man talking about the daggone triangle offense. I'm like, dude, like, bro, like why did you pick the triangle offense? This is the second time you try to talk about it on your podcast. Why do you keep trying to talk about the triangle offense, dude? You never played in it.
And man,
like make that make sense, man. You've never played in it. Why are you talking about it like you were some authority in this situation? That is insane to me, man.
Hey Mel, if you play that clip back too, if you play that audio back, notice how he likes to filibuster when he don't really know what he gonna say.
Yeah.
He'll start like repeating certain words and like and then when he finally gets to this point, it's like, what? That don't even make any sense. I thought you was going somewhere with this.
A lot of filibuster, man. That boy, that boy said, yeah, it wouldn't work because Bill Winnington, Luke Longley, Horace Grant, Rodman, they didn't shoot threes. What? This
man, yo, man,
that's funny, man.
But they won six rings though.
Exactly.
They got 6 rings. They got 6 rings out of running triangle offense.
Yeah. Call in,
Kobe.
Call in light work. Hey, man. Hey, Aaron, thanks for the call. I'm gonna get some more calls in here, man.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Then, brother.
Yeah.
All right.
Call in light work. I can't read all your comments, man, but you know we can have a decent conversation for sure. Have a really good conversation. Is this my dog from Washington?
Come on, how you doing, man?
What's popping, man? What's your thoughts, man? How much of the show you caught so far?
So my thing, I thought I was tripping for a second, but I actually had it on pause. So I kind of just basically when you're doing the interview and they're just talking about the triangle offense.
Okay.
So my big thing about why a lot of just teams and players, they don't run the triangle offense right now is because, to be honest, it's not really ideal because how many coaches are really thinking about getting the ball out of their star players' hands? They want the star players mainly right now to be in control of most of the game. So and you have to have a really high skill set IQ to play in the triangle offense. You have to be a great off-ball player also. And to be honest, how many players right now have that? I can name like Steph Curry, KD, Kyrie,
Kawhi.
Maybe Kawhi,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really like you can't really name. Can you name 10 like all-star players that play like that?
Well, I mean, as far as the star players, the superstar players, I mean, how many you need? You only need 1 or 2 superstars to be able to run it. Because how many people was running when Jordan played? Only the Bulls, right? So what you telling me is that Kawhi could be in the role of what Jordan was doing and what Kobe was doing and what Shaq was doing. So can KD, so can Steph, so can Draymond, so can Kawhi. Who else? One more person. I think SGA as well. I think all them dudes can do it.
Yeah, well, maybe I said it wrong. Players can do it. I think the biggest thing is they don't want to do it. Is what I'm trying to say because they don't.
But I think all those players I named would want to do it though.
So you think right now is probably mainly like the coaching?
It's the coaching, because remember, every time somebody is asked about it, whether it was Shaq, Sasha Vujacic, or Kobe, they said you have to have the coach to teach it.
Right. True.
You have to have the coach to teach it, and that's the key thing, right? So, that's the big part.
My bad. My phone cut. What'd you say at the end after you said coaching? My fault.
Yeah, you got to have a coach that wanna teach it, and that's the huge part. Because remember, for somebody like Michael Jordan to be a high IQ guy and Scottie to be a high IQ guy, as far as basketball, they said it took them 3 years to learn the triangle offense. The way these players are playing now, they want their rings now. They don't have 3 years to wait. Like the KD and LeBron is jumping from team to team and saying, "Get me a superstar now." I can't wait 3 years I can't even wait 3 years for a co-star, more or less wait 3 years to learn an offense.
Yeah, so, but yeah, when you were also talking about Melo, because I was going to say, and they were just talking about when they were trying to run it in New York, I was like, didn't they try to run the triangle in New York, but it wasn't effective? So that was just like my biggest thing, talking about like if players are gonna want to like run it and like want the ball out of their hands.
But that was Melo. Melo is he wasn't thinking straight, and he was clashing with Phil. And like, you know, instead of having the mindset that Jordan had, and thank God Michael Jordan was coached by Dean Smith, who put some discipline in him and some basketball basics and fundamentals in him, and he had the ability to want to be coached. I mean, this is a guy that came from a 2-parent household, so he is used to dealing with an authority figure in a man in his life. So he didn't buck at Dean Smith or buck at Phil Jackson when they came to him with the idea that you're not going to get up. Like in North Carolina, Dean Smith didn't even let him score over 30 too many times. If they was winning the ball game, I'm not letting you go over 30 and make it seem like it's a one-man show. So he wouldn't let him average too much. He wouldn't let him score too much. He wouldn't let him take too many shots. And then when he got to Phil was like, I'm taking the ball out of your hand. He was mad about those things, but he still was coachable enough to say, I'm still going to commit to it 100% so it can work. And he made it work. Carmelo didn't show that ability, and he had to get humbled by somebody putting him on a bench when he got to Houston, and then him being out of the league because everybody's saying he won't conform to coaching, and then him have to beg to get a roster spot in LA with LeBron. Like, he went out sad because he was unwilling to sacrifice, and he should have made that sacrifice with Phil. Why wouldn't you? He showed up with 11 rings. So that's just my thoughts, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, but like, yeah, this is my biggest thing is just how many players do you think? I think there's a lot of players in the league right now that still have the mindset of Melo. Like, why would I want like to take the ball in my hand? Like, granted, there's some like you were mentioning Kawhi. I think SJ would want to do it, but just how many players are just willingness to, you know, say I'm going to sacrifice my stats.
You don't need all of them. You only need one. We're not asking everybody to run a triangle in every team. We're asking one superstar. Could it work in today's era? The answer is yes. If you have the right coach to coach it, and if you have the right superstar to be in it. Those were the two caveats. Sasha said you gotta have a Kobe or Jordan player, and Kobe said you have to have the teacher. If you got those two things, you can run it.
Right. And but we also kind of seen it earlier, like in the early 2000s, instead of like players in the 90s, on the Bulls getting the little like curl for a midi, they'll swing it to players like Derek Fisher for the 3-ball. So you can most definitely run it right now.
Of course.
I don't know what they're talking about. You can't run triangle offense right now.
Right. Of course.
That's just kind of my thoughts on it. Appreciate you taking my call, man.
Anytime, bro. Thanks, man. I love when you call in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. All right, let's get one or two more calls. I need Young Disciple, you can call in. Young Disciple or Light Work. Dr. Brian Brown Music Incorporated. New to the channel. Thank you, Mel, for the info and insight on the game. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man, for sure. Caller from New York, cut your background. You got a lot of background noise. Try to quiet that down a little bit.
Is it good now?
Yeah, I can still hear that background. Are you in a plant facility?
Nah, it's loud AC, man.
Okay, all right, go ahead. You got 30 seconds since you got so much background on. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. Listen, I'm sorry that you had to spend your time doing this show on the triangle, man. You know, it's very unfortunate what LeBron is doing now. You know, and I feel like he's really just trying to overshadow the game, right, in its entirety. Like, bro, you out of the playoffs. Let the young guys rock. Let the finals, you know what I'm saying? Let the finals play out. Work on your craft. Come back for next season. Like that's what you expect great players to do, and especially those who are trying to contend to be the greatest. Jordan is the greatest. We ain't even gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got to spend no time going back and forth. I'm not debating with nobody, arguing with nobody about it. My thing is just like, yo, bro, just go be with your family and go get right over the summer and come back with a chip on your shoulder with something to prove.
Correct.
But every other day, throwing out these controversial statements for sound bites to try to, you know what I'm saying, take all of the attention away from the game is just corny, bro. Like no one can respect that. And especially the place where he come from, like especially those of us who come from like, you know what I'm saying, like impoverished neighborhoods, right? From the hood and stuff like that. He's from the slums of Akron. It's like, bro, did you really go this hard to make it this far to do this type of stuff? Let your game speak for your legacy. That's how it should be, right? It shouldn't be this constant like, yo, I'm trying to be the best. And I make these bold, you know, declarations about, that championship that made me the greatest. And then when people didn't co-sign to that, now it's like, all right, now I got to find another way to approach this because I thought I was going to get people on my side. And when they run the polls, I thought I was going to get a higher, you know what I'm saying, a higher popularity vote towards being the GOAT, but that didn't happen. So now I got to find another approach. All right, let me start being a victim now. Right now it's all right. Damn, people calling me out for being a victim. Well, let me start attacking the past errors and say who couldn't do what and what. It's like, yo, bro, like finish your career and see what it's gonna be. And he still has. Listen, as much irreparable damage as he's done, as much irreparable damage he's done, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. If he played 2-3 more years and he just, yo, I'm gonna put my head down. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna try to at least get another ring. I'm gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna play this game with integrity and be a man with integrity, right? For my fan base, for the NBA fans, a much different thing with like a Jordan and Kobe didn't do, right? They didn't have their fans. They played for the world. It's like, yo, the world is watching me. Little girls who don't want Barbies and stuff for Christmas, they want to go to see Jordan or Kobe play, right? Like this is the mentality he doesn't have. It's an entitled mentality. It's like, bro, just go hard, be you know what I'm saying, be a high integrity player and man, and finish your career and see what the chips fall. Right, but trying to manipulate yourself to be the GOAT, paying people under the table, false narratives and all that stuff, that's not gonna, bro, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it, bro. And we're not subscribing to that. And even mainstream media is starting to push back.
Yeah, they pushing back for sure.
Starting to push back.
Yeah, no, they pushing back for sure, man. But he gonna keep trying, man. I never, every time he stooped lower and lower, I be shocked, man. I'm like, man, I didn't think he could go lower than some of the places he was already at, but. Here he go again. Now he's an expert on the triangle, man. But thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, man. I mean, he made a good point, man. Like he doing a lot, man, for no reason. Like, let your game speak for itself. Just play hoop. Like you don't have to construct all of these new avenues to get the word out that that's better suited for your legacy. That's all he's doing. He's like, man, I don't like the way they're telling the story. The people that's been telling the story, the media members, the journalists, and the fans, they've been telling the story the same way for years. This is how they tell the story. And now he don't like the way they tell the story, and he's trying to be part of the media and tell the story himself. When has a player ever took control and tried to tell his own story that we're coming up with? This is our barbershop talk. What we think about you is what we think about you is how we understand the game. You can't come out here and reteach us the game. We already know it. You can't come out here and try to unscramble scrambled eggs or reverse engineer our brain on how it's already programmed. It's already been programmed that we think about the game this way. And that way we think about it, you're not the best. You can't come out here and now try to tell us the triangle offense wouldn't work in my era because my era is superior and rings don't matter and all this bull crap, man. Caller, what's up?
Hey, this is Sabrina.
What's going on, Sabrina? What's your thoughts?
Amen to the last caller. You said everything that I wanted to say.
Yeah, for sure. He was from New York too, so that's probably why.
Yeah. No, he just had potent things to say. LeBron is full of shit. He's going outside. He's truly going outside. You know, he believes that Hollywood crap, that bad press is good press. So he's just going to keep pushing nonsense, this bullshit, just to keep himself relevant.
Yeah.
He's going out sad. It's just hard to see it now, and he don't get it.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's burning all his bridges when he makes it to the Hall of Fame. Let's see how many of them are going to actually go, because he has zero respect. Nobody respects. But nobody with any common sense respects that man.
I mean, the ones that do, it just surprises me why. Like, I just want to ask why. I want to ask why Gilbert. I mean, we go get into the soundbite of Gilbert and Tracy McGrady talking about rings don't matter all of a sudden. I mean, I just thought that was rich.
Oh, well, somebody that underachieved personally himself. He underachieved, so he has to say that. He has nothing else to say.
Yeah,
how you gonna have a losing record? Like Herm Edwards said, you play to win.
Absolutely.
He only played in the NBA for brand leadership. That's it. To be the top dog when it comes to brand. Because he never wanted to put in the work.
Anybody who didn't want to put in the amount of work and effort in season, off season, on the court, right, off the court, if you're not putting the type of work Kobe was putting in while you was playing in his era, you do not get an opportunity to get up on a freaking podium on ESPN and tell Stephen A. Smith that you would have got them rings if you played with Shaq too. Like, that was disrespectful for T-Mac. We go play that sound bite next, but that was so disrespectful for him to come out and decide his friend Brian James and what Gilbert Arenas said. I just thought that was tasteless, man. I can't wait to get in that topic.
Nobody's friend. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
he's nobody's.
I'm talking about T-Mac. I'm talking about T-Mac.
They just the ones that's advocating him like T-Mac. They just messing up their own legacy. You know, you got your own children, your own grandkids that's gonna hear about this nonsense that you've been spewing. You should be thinking about that.
Yeah, they're making themselves look sad too. Like T-Mac, his legacy was already done. We can't go back and fix that. You retired the way you retired. Don't come back and try to get on the bandwagon with Gilbert Arenas and LeBron to reinforce what your legacy is. They already did he get in top 75? I think he did. He got in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, top 75 Hall of Fame. Be satisfied with that. Those are the greats. Those are the greats.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Those are the greats, and then the people who voted you in the top 75 in the Hall of Fame are the very people that you're trying to re-educate on what greatness is. But no, but we got time to get into there on this next topic though. I appreciate the call, Sabrina.
I got a topic for you. I got some information for you about that nonsense he spewed about not going to Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame.
Okay, go ahead.
They didn't scrub it from the internet where he was, him and Draymond Green and Fred Van Cleef with Drake in Canada. He's such a narcissist. He used his son's illness as bullshit, and that's all it was bullshit. I got all the links.
That's crazy.
I sent it to Sports T, but I didn't want her. I'm really glad that she didn't do it during the season.
That's crazy.
He's such a narcissist that he used his own son's illness. The man is disgusting. He's so full of shit. It's outright disgusting.
Yeah, interesting.
And he needs to get exposed for it. I'm going to send you the links. We'll talk about it another time. Let me get off the phone so you can get another call in.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. Love you guys and keep up the good work.
No doubt.
Because you educate me every time you're on there.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Later.
All right. All right. I got 4 or 5 calls of people who actually agreed with me. Anybody else that calls in, I would want it to be somebody who disagree. I want to get 2 disagreement phone calls before I go to the next topic. Wolfio, $2 super chat. LeBron got more chokes than rings. Caller from Texas, what's up?
Hey, bro, why you already going too far, bro?
Why LeBron went too far, or me?
Bro, LeBron was answering the mother. Oh, it's the daytime. I know I can't cuss. Bro, LeBron was answering the question, bro.
He didn't have to answer it.
bro. So you think it's smart, like to be on your like your own podcast, nigga, not answering questions?
Yes. If you don't know the answer and you ain't got
but he knows the triangle, bro.
Okay.
Bro, LeBron is known for knowing other teams play. Bro, so what I'm saying, what was Phil and Kobe running in 2009, 2010, all that? It was a triangle, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that LeBron know the triangle, bro. I don't think it's no.
Who you think know the triangle more, Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe.
Okay. So Kobe said it would work. LeBron said it wouldn't. Who you believe?
But when did Kobe say that? How many years ago was that?
Who do you believe, Kobe or LeBron?
Bro, I don't know. Bro, I'm saying that's a hypothetical, bro. Neither one of us know. Okay, I mean, I know when Phil hired Derek Fisher and for the Knicks. I mean, we seen how that went. Because bro, I don't think when you say the triangle will work, but but it has to be the right type of person and the right person to coach it. Like, bro, that's like nobody trying to. I'm saying why aren't any coaches? Because you try to add Steve Kerr championships. Steve Kerr do not run. He does not run a triangle, bro. He run like one little variation to the triangle, bro. But he does not run a triangle, bro. You know that too, bro.
Yeah. So Kobe said it would work in this era. Sasha said it would work. Shaq said it would work. Steve Kerr said it would work. Gilbert said that it would work. LeBron said it wouldn't. Steve Nash said it wouldn't. Who you believe?
Bro, why you keep asking me who I believe, bro? Bro, that's a bro. We don't know. Like I'm saying, is that even really important?
Yes, because the topic
that's not important. Ain't nobody
is important.
running it.
Is important because the topic is LeBron said the triangle wouldn't work for these reasons, and then all of these
Steve Nash said that,
and then all of these players who actually played in the triangle said it would work. And I'm trying to figure out why would LeBron even say that when he never even ran the triangle enough to know it the way they
because
know
he's answering, big bro. Because he's answering a question,
dude. If you
that was a fan. Those were fan questions, bro.
If a fan asks me right now how tall Young Disciple is, I'm not going to answer it. I'm gonna say I don't know because I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think. But that's the thing, though. I think LeBron knows, though.
Why would you? Why would you think? Like LeBron, why would you think he knows enough to answer the question to say it wouldn't work?
Because coaches and players rave about LeBron knowing their system and knowing all the plays they run.
You can't make this up. You can't.
Bro, am I lying? Am I telling the truth?
You can't make this up.
So bro, I'm lying.
Well, tell me what IQ.
Because I done heard y'all step by.
Tell me what IQ is.
Bro, we talking about basketball IQ, bro. Well, when you hear basketball IQ,
in order for me to know what basketball IQ is, tell me what IQ is.
Bro, what you mean?
Tell me what IQ is.
Man, bro, I asked you a question. Bro, when did it get to? Bro, I asked you a question. You asked me a question. Like, bro, nigga, answer my question.
I can answer it. I can answer it.
You can't answer my question, nigga, unless you ask me one.
I can ask.
Like,
I can answer and once we establish what IQ is. I want to make sure we're on the same page with that.
Bro, we talking about basketball IQ, bro.
We'll get there.
What is basketball?
Let's establish what IQ is.
I'm not even talking about a real definition, bro. I'm saying when you hear basketball IQ, what do you get from that?
What is?
It's not about nigga, how me and you define IQ. I'm saying when you hear or when you speak and when you say somebody has a high basketball IQ, what are you saying?
Before I answer the question, I want to make sure we're on the same page with what IQ is. What does IQ mean?
Man, bro, what are we talking? Bro, I'm asking you a simple question, bro.
I'm asking you a simple question.
Why are you asking me about IQ? Bro,
just say,
why are you asking me about IQ, bro? I'm asking you a question, bro.
All right, I'll make it easy for you. What does what does the I in IQ stand for?
Man, bro, you really think I can't answer like a question that like, I'm saying that's simple, bro?
Well, answer it.
Bro, I asked you the question, nigga. Bro, you don't like, bro. That don't work on me, bro. You trying to get out of answering the question?
No, I'm not.
Like, but hey, bro. I'm gonna let you go though, bro. I'm gonna let you go though, bro. But hey, I'm saying we're gonna say that you cooked me because I'm gonna go to the chat and I'm gonna answer your question just to let you know that I know. But bro, you just deflecting. Bro, I asked you.
I'm not deflecting. I told you. I definitely gonna answer the question, but I want to make sure we're on the same page.
But bro, what do I'm saying? What do me knowing what the I in IQ stands for have to do with basketball IQ, bro? I didn't ask you, bro. This not a text. I didn't ask you a textbook question, bro. I'm saying when you talk about basketball IQ, what are you saying? And you trying to ask me like you deflecting, trying to come on, bro. That don't work with me, bro.
Listen, young.
You should be able to
listen,
ask
young.
me that question, bro.
Listen,
you should
young.
be able to just answer.
Listen.
You should be able to just answer, bro.
Listen.
But bro, I get it, bro.
I asked you what the I and IQ stand for.
I get it, bro.
And your answer could have been one word. Instead, you said 1,000 words.
Your answer could have been one word, nigga.
Instead, you said 1,000 words. We having a conversation. I want to make
answer my question, nigga. You asked me a question.
I want to make sure we on the same page,
bro. Just bro. Me and you ain't never on the same page as far as basketball goes. So let's just say we're not on the same page.
Right. That's why I wanted to make sure.
Basketball IQ is to you.
I at least wanted to get that part established before I gave you my answer, because whatever answer I gave you was going to understand it. If you don't understand what IQ is, you're not going to understand basketball IQ.
Well, bro, if that's the case, then just say it. I mean, I ain't gonna understand it regardless.
All right. Well, I mean, you won't let me run my show. You want to run my show for me. You want to run my show for me.
I'm running your show because I asked you a question.
Yeah, you trying to. You're not answering my question.
You're running, bro.
I just want to. I want to make sure. I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Bro, because it's your show. You could. Bro, you're still ducking. You're still ducking. All right, bro. Bro, go to the next caller, bro. Go to the next caller, bro.
All right. Bid you a good day.
Good day, bro. Good day. Good day.
So he asked that question, and the topic is whether LeBron James knows the triangle offense or not, right? So he wants to try to drive the point home that everyone says that LeBron James has a high basketball IQ, which means he's highly intelligent. If you have a high IQ, that means he's an intelligent basketball player. He's trying to negate that to the fact that he knows the triangle offense. You can be the smartest person in the world, the most intelligent person in the world with the highest IQ ever. That doesn't mean that you know an offense that you never played in. That's not what that means, young. So before I answered that question, I wanted to make sure that you knew what IQ meant. First of all, before you start trying to challenge me on if LeBron's IQ that some peers said that was high for him means that he knows the triangle offense. It absolutely does not mean that, right? Not knowing and having an IQ is two different things. My IQ can be very high, and if I have a blind spot, I just don't know that. But my IQ is high enough that if I did get exposed to it and play in it, I could learn it. Right, yes. Having a high basketball IQ will help you learn the triangle offense. But if you never played in it, and if you never taught the triangle, how are you going to learn it? You got to help me understand that. How are you going to learn it if you never played in it? So no, that doesn't mean the same thing, young disciple. Having a high IQ doesn't mean you know the triangle. Rondo has a very high IQ. He never played in a triangle. Jason Kidd has a very high IQ. John Stockton has a very high IQ. He never played in a triangle. So they're not going to be the authority, or they're not going to be the voice that I want to listen to if I ask the question, would the triangle work in this era? He's not that guy. And that's the whole purpose of the video. He's not the guy that I would ask if the triangle would work. I would ask the guys like Kobe, like Shaq, like Pippen, like Phil Jackson, like Rodman, like Steve Kerr. I would ask those guys. And all of those guys said yes. Easy day. Let's get one more phone call. I'm waiting for what light work. Light work, call in. So we can define what light work is as well. Call in light work so we can define that. Light work don't want to call in? Caller from Georgia, shut YouTube off in the background so there's no echo, and this has to be a disagreement. Who's calling?
This is Shy from New York. What's the subject again? So you just changed it.
No, we're still talking about the triangle offense.
Oh man, LeBron just be talking. He just be talking just to talk, man. I mean, like, I don't know how people don't know that. Even your boy Young is a crazy man, bro. How'd you even let this guy say all that foolishness?
Hey, gotta let him talk. Gotta let him talk, man, so people can hear how people think.
Bro, nothing he said made sense about LeBron talking about the triangle. What the hell is that? Literally, nothing he said made sense, bro. You ain't. They talking about I could have made a song out of him saying that was crazy, man. But yo,
Young still the homie though, man. We ain't go clown him like that. He's still the homie.
All right. Shout out to Young, my fault. But that was funny as hell though. What he was saying about LeBron trying to defend him with no possible logic to defend him with.
Nah, none at all.
But yo, LeBron talking about the triangle offense, but he never ran no offense in his career. Makes no sense to me. He's literally never ran no offense his whole career. The offense is you give me the ball and spot up.
Pretty much high screen and roll, dribble, drive, and dish out. Accidental basketball.
Bro, literally accidental basketball. Then this guy LeBron James talking about the most stuff that he has no idea about, and it's like sad that he always does this every fucking day. Every day he's talking about something that he don't know. So that he doesn't have any idea what he's talking about. He talk about the ring code stuff. Oh, the rings don't matter, man. The ring. Now you see that you only get 4 in your whole career. Now the rings don't matter now. Huh?
Facts.
2016, it was this made me the GOAT. Now I can't get enough rings to pass Kobe or Mike or Kareem or Magic or like, yo, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
LeBron needs to sit down, man.
That's a fact. But Atlanta, I'm gonna have to move to the next caller because I'm trying to get one last disagreement in before I move on.
All right, man. Shout out for appreciate you having me, bro.
All right, no problem, man. Make sure you call back.
I definitely will.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Light work. I'm waiting on you, so we can move on. Hey, one of the moderators check where the likes is at, and see if we should have at least 350 likes right now. So one of the moderators check and let me know where the likes is at. I might have to cut this one short because we're almost at 2 hours, so maybe I'll end it. If we had 350 likes, if we can get 350 likes, I'll move to the next topic. If not, y'all just have to get it tomorrow. But light work, we're waiting on you, big dog. We at 202. Thanks, New Geek. Hey, kindly get it up to 350 if y'all want us to move on to the next topic. If y'all want me to end it, then just keep it in the 200s. And I think a 2-hour show is good for 200 likes. But 350, I keep going. If we can get to 350, I keep going. Come on, light work. Get him, girl. I'm waiting on light work, man. Young thought he absolutely was on point with that IQ question. High IQ does not equal I know the triangle offense. So we can grab every high IQ player that's in the NBA and say they know the triangle. No, think about that, man. This man was really trying to sell to me that if your IQ is high and enough people say you got a high IQ and enough people say, oh man, he knew what we was about to run. Everybody in the finals right now know what the other team is running. They know it. Almost everybody. That's part of good film study and good coaching. You're supposed to know it, right? So saying that your best player knows what the other team is running is not a flex that you think it is, right? Because it is so many people that know that. Rondo knew that. Jason Kidd knew that. Garnett knew that. He would call it out. You know, there's so many people, Stockton, Malone, like they knew it. Jordan, Pippen, they knew it. That's not a flex. That's almost every great player, especially if he's paying attention. Every great player knows that when they're facing their opponent. That's not a flex. That's not something unique to LeBron, right? So if you think a basketball IQ being high means that you know the triangle the same way that Kobe knows the triangle. Like, Young, you couldn't even admit when I asked you who you think knows the triangle better, LeBron or Kobe. It took you 30 seconds to answer that question. That should have been very easy, Kobe. But you couldn't even answer that question. That lets me know it's a lot of strong delusion and strong drink involved. Strong delusion, strong drink. All right, let me check these likes really quick. Because I could have my Saturday back because it took us 2 hours to get through one topic. And my shows are usually 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours. But I'll be daggone if I keep going for 2 more topics. If I can't even get likes, man. I ain't even asking for super chats. I'm just asking for likes, y'all. And the only reason why I'm asking for likes is because we're at 256. Lord have mercy. We're 100 away. Like I want y'all to think about this. There's 400 people watching. And it's 150 of y'all that refuse to hit the like button. I mean, I just want y'all to think about that. Like that's kind of jacked up, man. That's kind of jacked up. I'm about to go fix this camera again because it's crooked. I'm gonna go fix this camera, and then when I come back, man, hopefully. All right. What about 286, man? I think we can get to 350, y'all. I mean, yeah, I think we can get to 350. All right, so let's move on. Light work not gonna call in, so we'll move on. So Game to Mind podcast also, and we already discussed this one, right? We already discussed the ring culture thing. LeBron obviously said that, you know, he don't understand why rings is a big deal and it's a team accomplishment and all that stuff, man. So many people was talking about it. And there was a lot of people that weighed in. PK Subban, the NHL player, he weighed in. I really liked exactly what he said. But at the last minute, I decided not to use his soundbite because of what I heard from T-Mac and Gilbert Arenas when they was talking to Stephen A. Smith after the finals game. So I decided to use that one. I'm gonna do PK Subban later because what he said was damaging. What he said was damaging. But here we are discussing this ring culture thing again. Do rings matter when you're defining greatness? And that the answer to that is yes and no, right? Do you have to have a ring to be considered a great player? The answer is no. Great players go to the Hall of Fame without rings. All right. There's some great players like Stockton, Malone, and Reggie Miller who are chosen as a top 75 player of all time, which means you're the greatest of the great, right? You're the top 75 in 75 years of basketball in the NBA, right? So those are great players. Every top 50 and top 75 player are great players. Every Hall of Famer is a great player. And there's a lot of players that are there without rings. So no one has ever said that your greatness rely on how many rings you get. What the standard has been is when you get a room full of those great players and we start to discuss what you was able to accomplish in the league, how do we figure out how to rack and stack them from the greatest on down? And rings are absolutely a part of that equation, right? Because if these players are so great, they're going to be very evenly matched in a lot of cases, right? Let's say a player like Stockton and a player like J. Kidd, they're evenly matched. Stockton is number 1 in assists all time, and number 1 in steals all time. I want to say J. Kidd might be number 2 in assists and steals all time as well. I can double check that. Somebody can fact check me on that. As I look, and we're at 300 likes, so we're getting there. We're almost there. But somebody can fact check me on that. But last time I remember, Stockton was 1 in steals and 1 in assists, and J. Kidd was 2 in steals and 2 in assists. Right. Right. Both of those guys have led or been part of the leadership as a co-star on a finals run or finals appearance. John Stockton and Malone got to the finals twice against the Bulls. They got to the conference finals a bunch of time. They was always in the playoffs, always competitive. That counts for something. They both were pure point guards. They both could score it. They both could get in the paint and score. They both could pass. They both played defense and was tenacious. They both were smart, regarded for their knowledge of the game. They're very similar. The only thing that kind of makes them different is Kidd is 6'4". He's a little bigger, right? So he can do more on offense. He could post up, right? He could guard more positions. He could guard bigger players. In Phoenix, he was used to guard Kobe because Sean Marion couldn't guard him. Penny Hardaway's foot, he lost his athleticism with his injuries. He couldn't stay in front of Kobe. They had to put 6'4" Jason Kidd on Kobe. Cliff Robinson was there, couldn't guard him. They had just signed Kevin Johnson on like a 10-day contract for the playoffs or something like that. He couldn't guard it, obviously. So J. Kidd had to be the person that was assigned with Kobe. Those are the things you could do that you couldn't necessarily do with Stockton. So Kidd defensively was a little better, right? But then you got the fact that Jason Kidd led New Jersey to 2 finals appearances as the best player, and Stockton did it as the second best player. Which one weighs more, right? So if these guys are evenly matched, like they're almost similar players, like how do you know which one is greater? We're not saying which one is better, because that's going to be basically maybe a little bit more objective, and it depends on how deep your knowledge of the game go and how you evaluate players, right? Some people might just go straight to the stats and say that the guy with the better stats is better. I think that's too dense to do, right? I don't think that goes below the surface. That's not deep enough for me. I got to have a higher and a deeper analogy for that, right? So, not analogy, but understanding and analysis, right? But defense, I think J. Kidd gets a little bit of a bump over Stockton. And the fact that he was a number 1 for when he led his teams to the finals. He got there twice with New Jersey. Stockton got there twice with Utah. but Kidd did it as a number 1, which means that's a harder task to overcome being a number 1. Stockton did it as a number 2, which means the most of the pressure was on Malone as the number 1. J. Kidd had all the pressure on him, on top of being a better defender, and then on top of whenever he was a number 2 with Dallas behind Dirk, he actually won a ring. So when you're racking stacking players, if you're being fair, you got to have some type of standard. Otherwise, you're going to say, oh, put this guy here because I objectively think he should be there. And then I'm going to use a totally different standard comparing other 2 guys. And it's just basically who you like the most, who you're going to be racking and stacking with no thoughts of a ring in sight. Like, how do you do that? Right? At some point, we got to draw the line and say, all right, these guys are too good for me to actually know which one should be ranked higher on a greatest of all time list. So it has to come down to, okay, how many times did your greatness actually lead to the ultimate goal, which is winning a ring? So that's what it boils down to for me. And that's how I would put J. Kidd over Stockton. A lot of people disagree with me and said that Stockton is like the epitome of a point guard. You have to put him in the top 5. I had Stockton like number 6 or 7 behind J. Kidd. I had Kidd at 5. I had Magic 1, Isaiah 2, Oscar 3, Steph 4, J. Kidd 5. And then after that, you can have your conversation with Stockton. And then you can go on down the line with that. But that's how I had it. And him being able to win a ring as a number 2 and able to get his team to the finals twice as a number 1 weighs more than Stockton being able to get to the finals as a number 2 twice, and not having a ring, and being number 1 and 1 on steals and assists, while Kidd was number 1 and 2 in steals and assists, and then the defensive part as well. So that's how I did it. Kidd is over Stockton for me, and that ring count and him being a number 1 for his appearances counted, right? So that's just a little bit on how I look at it. But let's listen to these sound bites on first we'll give a recap of LeBron talking about ring culture, then we get into Stephen A. Smith, Gilbert Arenas, and T-Mac.
A ring is a team accomplishment. Right. I don't know where it started. It's just it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to me individually. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport. You tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring.
You brought up. So that's not what it's saying. So this is a slick way to try to, backdoor this conversation. No one has ever, like I said, no one has ever said that a guy with no rings or 1 ring can't be discussed as a great player, just like a person like Jordan or a Magic or a Larry Bird. It doesn't mean that all great players, that's what the top 75 is for. That means they're all discussed as great players in the same light. That's what the Hall of Fame is for. The Hall of Fame is not just for rings. The Hall of Fame is for greatness as well, great players. And you can be great without a ring. Charles Barkley is Hall of Fame and top 50. And he's got a gold medal. And you know what I'm saying? Like he's a great player. Bill Walton. I mean, he got a ring with he got 1 with Portland and 1 with Boston, I think, but his career was cut short. So there's room for players who actually didn't achieve what their talent was, because of injury. T-Mac, he didn't achieve a lot because of injury. There's room for guys like that in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, I don't understand what he's saying that great players like Steve Nash, John Stockton, and Karl Malone can't be mentioned with a Bird, Magic, or Mike when they are mentioned with them every time you call them a Hall of Famer and every time you call them a top 50 player, they're mentioned with the greatness of Magic, Bird, and Mike. So that's a damn lot of LeBron James. So what this really is about is now people are using rings to separate me from Kobe and Mike. And I want to get rid of the ring culture. That way I can have a better argument when it comes to Kobe and Mike.
Up LeBron and the rings, okay? Who's devalued LeBron? See, that's the BS that we have to stop letting him and his camp get away.
Lots of people have.
Once again, no, excuse me.
The LeBron apology said lots of people have diminished LeBron. Stephen A. Smith is about to make a great point.
When we talk about the GOAT, because he's not. And
only when we talk about the GOAT is LeBron mentioned with rings and not having as many as Mike, Magic, Kobe, Bird. Only in rings. So if we was to grab out of the top 75 players, let's say grab me the top 10 out of the top 75 and let's find out who's greatest amongst the top 10. And it narrows down to Magic, Mike, Kobe, LeBron, Bird, Wilt, Bill Russell, Kareem, Hakeem, Shaq, Duncan, right? Maybe Duncan. So that's 11. If you grab those 11 and say, okay, who's greatest amongst them? You don't think the topic of how often they actually won is important? You don't think that Hakeem is going to drop because LeBron actually won 4 and Hakeem only got 2? He's absolutely going to drop. And everybody thinks Hakeem is better than LeBron. Everybody knows Hakeem is better than LeBron. Everybody knows Duncan is better than LeBron. Duncan is better than LeBron and got more rings. And people still put LeBron over him. So Stephen A. Smith is right. The only time the rings come about is when we're talking about who's the GOAT. And it's not LeBron. And it's not just because of the rings, but that's a factor.
A lot of people's eyes, it's Michael Jordan. That is it. That is it. Everybody recognizes him as a 4-time champion. Everybody universally recognizes him as one of the top 3 players in the history of basketball. What the hell else do you want? A diaper and a bib? What do you want? Do you want us to feed you some applesauce or something? My God, what more can you do? It's factually incorrect when they walk around acting like he's been devalued. It is not true. It is not true. Now, let's get to the point that you and I do agree about. If it didn't mean much or shouldn't mean much, well then, why were you so relieved to finally have one?
When did
Why was he so relieved to get a ring? Why did he leave Cleveland to go to Miami? Why did he leave Miami to go back to Cleveland? Why did he leave Cleveland to go to LA? It was all ring chasing, right? So good points by Stephen A. Smith. Good point by this person on the screen that says this argument works against LeBron. Yes. If you're going to convince everyone that ring culture is toxic and rings shouldn't matter because it's a team accomplishment, okay, now we get rid of rings. Now what are we looking at? We're looking at just what happens on the floor as a player. And when you do that, you start to realize T-Mac is better than LeBron. So now how do we come up with how do we reconcile how we got LeBron ranked over T-Mac if rings don't matter? Somebody explain to me how he was ranked over T-Mac. And then someone's going to say, well, stats. Okay, all right. Well, it makes sense then what this effort is all about. Let's get rid of everything that I don't lead in and say all of that don't matter. And then the only thing that's left is stats. And guess who got? I'm the leading scorer, so that means I'm the GOAT. Let's process elimination. Everything that LeBron don't lead in, it don't matter. Rings, bag, like he's attacking the bag, he's attacking rings. Now he's got all his people in the media to come out and support him, starting with Gilbert Arenas and Nick Wright. Oh yeah, we 100% support what LeBron said. The bag don't matter, the rings don't matter. This era was tougher in this era. All of these other things that we're gonna say, Jordan's defensive player of the ring, defensive player of the year don't count. all of this stuff. So only thing that's left that matter is stats. And I've been playing so long without having any major injuries. I've got all the stats in the world. So, yep. Well, the only thing that matters is stats, and I guess that makes me the GOAT. That's the end goal. Here's Gilbert Arenas.
Culture become a thing, right? When you talk about a team award, something that a structure needs to win, does not boost you in front of individual accomplishments. And when you used Kobe, would frowned upon what LeBron said, I would disagree with that.
Got you.
I would disagree with that.
I remember what I said there.
In real time, Kobe had 3 rings. Y'all wasn't treating him like a 3-ring player. You were treating him like a sidekick. He was considered a sidekick. He was considered a Robin. He was considered the next Pippen. In 2002, with 3 rings, we were still comparing T-Mac. Who was better in the league? You couldn't convince the NBA down the middle who was better. So
between
T-Mac and Kobe.
Totally true. Totally
Right?
true.
So if you're sitting there with 3 rings and you're still being compared to someone who doesn't have rings, what do you think happened? I need individual accomplishments. Can you please get rid of Shaq? Right? Because if it was about rings, there was no reason for the fallout with him and Shaq. The fallout was about you only respect the driver of the car. No one respects the passenger of rings. You want to go, T-Mac?
So this is what Gil gets a little disingenuous and disrespectful because he think people that are listening are dumb. And he says things that sound very enlightening. And it's see what the devil do to you is when he tells you a lie, it's not a flat out lie. It's a little bit of truth in it with a slightly 90-degree twist to it. Sometimes a 180-degree twist. Not even a 180, a little 90-degree twist, right? So it's just twisting the truth a little bit. It is true that Kobe Bryant was a co-star to Shaquille O'Neal, even though we've never seen that. There's been no other co-star like Kobe in the history of the NBA. There's maybe what Wade was in Miami, but as far as a co-star being an absolute number one, and he's only a co-star by default. Like he has to actually scale his game back to be a co-star. Like he held himself back a little bit to be a co-star. Versus you getting a player like Middleton, who is probably better suited to be a number 3, and he played up to be a co-star, right? And obviously he couldn't play like that on a consistent basis because he played up to be a co-star one time and they won a ring, but he ain't been able to do it since. He haven't been able to do it before that. You know, so playing up to what your ability is one thing, and someone being a co-star and playing down is another. Kobe absolutely played down, so no one really looked at him as a talent, as a Scottie Pippen or a co-star, but like you couldn't really give him credit for being the number 1, just like I just described with Jason Kidd and John Stockton. Could John Stockton be a number 1 and lead a team to a championship? Maybe. But we didn't get a chance to see it. So we can't really talk about him in that light unless it's a hypothetical. We seen Kidd do it. So if it's a tiebreaker and Jason Kidd and Stockton is here, the tiebreaker has to go to the guy who actually led as a number 1, because that's harder than leading as a number 2. And Kobe Bryant knew that. So he was like, I keep hearing everybody calling me Scottie Pippen. I'm way more than that. I want to get away from Shaq. So either he go or I go. And what he didn't give him an ultimatum. He was just saying, hey, look, man, I'm already looking for homes in Chicago. He said, I was willing to go to Chicago and play. I was looking, him and Vanessa was looking for homes. That's what he said. And then Dr. Jerry Buss made the decision to trade Shaq, and they re-signed Kobe. We going with the young fella. Kobe was shocked. He didn't even know. He was content with leaving. But he wanted to leave Shaq so bad just so he can show how good he was. That's totally different from LeBron trying to show how good he is in Cleveland and not being able to do it and then going to join Wade. So Kobe started his career and won his first 3 rings with Shaq, but he said, in order for me not to be looked at like Scottie Pippen my whole career, I got to show y'all I can do more than Scottie Pippen. Get Shaq away from me. Let me find out how to do it myself as a number one, right? And that's what he did, right? So that's what Gilbert Arenas is describing. But the disingenuous part about it is he's trying to connect that to what LeBron is saying about ring culture and ring should matter. Ring culture, like Kobe didn't have a problem with ring culture. He understood it. He understood it. I got to show you I can win as a number one. Regardless on what I really was doing on the court, I got to show you I can win as a number one, or y'all going to talk about me. And that's the culture. Everyone agreed to it. Kobe didn't try to stay with Shaq his whole career and then start a podcast afterward to explain how ring culture shouldn't matter. That's not what Kobe did. Kobe was like, okay, I accept how y'all think about this thing. Give me a harder challenge so I can show y'all. Because I can't help how y'all think about the game and how y'all talk about it. I can't help that. Y'all only know what you know. You only see what you see. I got to show you something more. That's difference. I'm going to show you why I can show you versus LeBron saying, when I can't show you no more, I'm going to convince y'all that y'all didn't see what y'all just saw. And then I'm going to convince y'all that y'all have to ignore what reality is just for my sake. And that's what's disingenuous about Gilbert Arenas trying to bring Kobe into it. Kobe didn't do what LeBron is doing. He accepted it.
I don't know what he said wrong, but go ahead. I don't think LeBron said anything wrong. To add to your point, got it. What happens is when we diminish the likes of the other players, I'll tell you where it really affects people like athletes. Because then everybody out there starts easily diminishing the talented players. Right.
That's who cares? Just because people saying that rings matter, and you got some fans that use that as an opportunity to say that somebody is ranked lower on the list because they ain't got no rings. Who cares? That don't mean you change the whole standard. Who cares?
Right. So you got people out there who are fans. When we love fans, we got respect for it. Discounting the greatness of the individual talent, calling people bums because they didn't live up.
But he ain't got no pushback when everybody called LeBron teammates bums. There's no pushbacks when the only reason why Jay Will and T-Mac is out and Gilbert Arenas is all on board with this is because somehow it helps them out a little bit. And then they want and Gilbert Arenas just want to help LeBron out. He don't care. He just want to do this LeBron thing, and he's a troll most of the time anyway. But now T-Mac is like, oh, shoot, this is an opportunity for me to get back in. Oh, maybe I can get people to change their mind about me, which is a weak move. And T-Mac, as good as he is as a player, is weak-minded. He really is. He's weak-minded. And that's the difference between him and Kobe.
To the narrative that the media is set on what defines greatness as greatness.
No disagreement there.
That's my add-on.
Go ahead, T-Mac.
What defines greatness? Is it the championship?
See, here's more stupidity. Nobody has ever said that rings define greatness. We've already established a top 75, a top 50, and the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame is defining greatness. That's just like saying the Hall of Fame shouldn't matter because there's great players that's not in the Hall of Fame. Does the Hall of Fame define greatness? Like, think about what they're saying. They're trying to take down every standard that we've ever had and we've ever abided by. So if rings don't matter, then neither does the Hall of Fame. So we can't distinguish a Hall of Fame player from any other great player who didn't achieve enough to be selected into the Hall of Fame. So what's the point? There's no difference between the Hall of Fame T-Mac and the non-Hall of Fame who was probably good as T-Mac, Brandon Roy. There's no difference between Brandon Roy and T-Mac. We can't distinguish between them. There's no distinguish between Allen Houston and T-Mac. There's no no difference between Sprewell and T-Mac, because we can't call T-Mac a Hall of Fame and Sprewell not a Hall of Famer because they both great players. So They one and the same. That's the danger that they're getting themselves in by saying the ring standard is not even a standard no more. Let's take that down. Then let's take down the Hall of Fame standard as well. Right? If it wasn't for rings, why are people saying that Scottie Pippen is better than Dominique Wilkins or greater than Dominique Wilkins? Last time I seen a top 5 or a top 10 small forward list of all time, Scottie Pippen is ranked very high. And he was a number 1 for 1.5 years. 150 games 1 year, was second in MVP race. The next year, his team was almost out of the playoffs and Jordan had to come back to save him. So what are we using to say Scottie Pippen is better than Dominique Wilkins? What are we using to say Bill Russell is a top 10 player? What are we using to say Bill Russell is better than David Robinson? If it's not the rings. What are we using to say Steph is better than KD? Didn't y'all tell me that Steph won without KD? He's got 2 without KD, and KD has 0 without Steph. So that's why Steph is better than KD, even though when we watched the game and when they was on the same team, he deferred to KD, and KD was obviously the best player, just like Wade deferred to LeBron when he came to Miami. So what are we using to say Steph is better than KD if it's not the rings? Steph is better than KD because rings. Bill Russell is top 10 player because of rings, not because his points per game or his overall stats or his aesthetically pleasing game. It's rings and defense and winning. So when did we stop counting rings? How is Pippen better than Dominique or Elgin Baylor? Like, I've seen Pippen rank higher than Elgin Baylor and Dominique on the list. Last time I seen the top 5 small forward list, it was they had LeBron, they had Bird, they had Dr. J, they had, I can't remember who 4th was, but they had Pippen 5th. How does Pippen get better than Dominique, Elgin Baylor, Melo? How the hell? Melo was a number 1 his whole career. Got more points than Pippen. How the hell is Melo not better than Pippen if it's not rings? Like, seriously, explain that to me. How is Pippen better than any small forward that's great, like Melo, Paul Pierce, Elgin Baylor, Dominique Wilkins? How is Pippen better than those guys without the rings? Explain that to me. Oh, and they got Pippen ranked over Durant. How's Pippen ranked over Durant as a small forward without the rings? Durant might have been that 4th one. I don't think Pippen ranked over Durant. So I think it was Larry Bird, LeBron James, Dr. J, Kevin Durant, and then Scottie Pippen was the top 5. So it's defense. Pippen is better than them because of defense, and it ain't got nothing to do with rings. Got it. Got that. I remember that. I keep that note. Because last time I said Kobe was better than LeBron because of defense, and Mike was better than LeBron because of defense, somebody said defense didn't matter. I'm glad y'all said that.
That's one of the elements. I mean, in some cases, yeah.
I don't see anything he said wrong. I didn't see your response, but for me, we have too many talented players that come through this league that are championship worthy. What I mean by that, if you take them off a team that is a championship quality team, replace me with Kobe with Shaq. I don't win a championship. You don't think I could carry the Lakers to a championship? Like, I've never had the opportunity.
Correct.
I felt like if I was put in that position to win a championship, I damn sure would show up and do what I do in the playoffs to elevate my team to that level.
And we got people clapping in the background with him saying, if you put me on a Lakers squad instead of Kobe, I get ring. First and foremost, they might be right. T-Mac, you might get 1 ring. But to get a 3-peat, you have to be as dedicated as Kobe. You have to be as dedicated on defense as Kobe. You have to be a maniac like him. You can't just be good. You can't just be great. You got to do that on both sides. You have to be willing to take that back seat to Shaq, and also willing to take that front seat when needed. Right? You have to be mentally tough. And then you have to do that year in and year out for a three-peat. And you have to stay on the floor. You can't be hurt all the time. Between your knees, your back, your shin, your ankle, you trying to make it seem like if you just switch Kobe with T-Mac, that he's going to get a three-peat, and then they're going to give Shaq away, and then they're going to bring in Pau Gasol, and then you're going to go 3 more straight finals and win 2. This is the same dude who, when he was in Orlando and he had the Milwaukee Bucks with Big Dog Glenn Robinson and Ray Allen down in the first round when it was still the best out of 5, and you was up on them 2-0, and your mentally weak self went into that post game and they asked you, how does it feel to get out of the first round? Feels good. It's over. And then you went out to choke 3 straight games and lose 3-2. Ray Allen showed his John hind parts on your ass. Dunked on you and everything. Kobe Bryant ain't never let Ray Allen come out there and show out on him like that unless it was a super team in Boston. And then he came right back and got his get back. T-Mac, you ain't even never been out of the first round. You had Yao Ming. That was the next best center to Shaq. What else you want? You had Yao Ming in Houston. What a good team. You had Yao Ming, you had Battier. Yao Ming was better than Powell. Don't try to act like you ain't never had no squad, T-Mac. That's disrespectful. If I was on the Lakers, you would have got what? 1 ring maybe with Shaq? You ain't get no 3-peat. You ain't like that mentally. You're not like Kobe. You're not like Kobe. You said so yourself. You are the lazy friend that got all the talent in the world to Kobe as Barkley was to Michael Jordan. You are that player. But Barkley got common sense though.
I just never had the chance. So do I get diminished because I never won a championship?
When we're little, that's what was pushed to us.
Okay.
Win championships.
Okay.
But no one factors in the school we're at, this organization, right? He's in Cleveland. This owner doesn't know nothing about winning no championship. This is a business for him.
Okay, well, if the owner in Cleveland didn't know nothing about winning no championship, you get to use that excuse for your first 6 years in the league. Then you went to Miami with the owner who knows what the hell he's doing, who's already run, with a player in Wade who's already won, with a role player in Haslam who's already won, with Pat Riley, who's won everywhere he's went, who knows what he's doing in the front office, who brought you help the first year you was there and then got more help the second year. Then a head coach like Eric Spoelstra, we see what he is now. You had all of that in Miami. If you're going to complain about your organization didn't know how to win, then why the fuck did you leave Miami to go back to that organization? Make that make sense. Don't use as an excuse. You had an opportunity to stay your black ass in Miami. Now you got people out here making excuses for you. That's nonsense. Stay in Miami then, or don't complain. You went back to Cleveland. So you got 6 years you can complain about the team that didn't know how to win. But guess what? The first 6 years Michael Jordan was in Chicago, what history did Chicago have of knowing how to win? Don't let these people like Gilbert Arenas come up here lying to y'all. They talk about LeBron James had a first-year coach and all this stuff. Phil Jackson was a first-year coach when Michael Jordan got him. And Chicago didn't know how to win. So the difference in Michael Jordan's first 6 years and LeBron's first 6 years, they both went to teams that didn't win before, didn't know how to win. They ain't won after he left. And he took a first-year coach to the finals and won and three-peated and then took a break and came back and three-peated again with that coach. Gilbert got to stop lying. Who cares if Cleveland didn't know what they was doing? Neither did Chicago. But Michael Jordan turned it around. I ain't going to say Michael Jordan did it, but he was part of the big puzzle piece that turned it around.
I can't afford him. I can't afford him. I can't afford him. You're forcing the player to think about his legacy first.
Right.
Then he leaves.
Right.
Right? If you're in Los Angeles, you're in Boston, you're in Chicago. I've never seen one player. Right. I've never seen one player in Los Angeles say, I want to leave besides Dwight Howard.
All right, it's nonsense. He left Miami. Okay. If we want to give him an excuse for his first 6 years because of Cleveland, you was in Miami for 4 years with a super team. You underachieved. You got 2 out of 4. You should have got all 4. Couldn't get it. Not even a three-peat. KD and Steph almost did that if it wasn't for injury. You couldn't even do that. The widest margin of victory in the finals against San Antonio. That's insane. So that's Gil. But I also play for you, Charles Barkley, so you can understand how a player with no rings won't take the bait and feel sorry for himself and try to put himself back in some type of elite conversation where he don't belong.
Those are the rules. It's like my rules. Hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame, but I'm in a different wing than the guys who won the championship. I mean,
Still in the Hall of Fame, though.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying though, Jack, hey, I understand. I understand the rules. Like Charles are great, Karl Malone's great, Patrick Ewing's great. They're not at the table with Magic, Bird, LeBron, Kobe. It's levels to this shit. And I ain't mad at that. I understand that. Now, if I could have won a championship, I can go across the room. But the rules are the rules. We have to play by the rules. And this ain't got nothing with motherfuckers on TV who get paid to talk shit. We talking about players.
Right.
We talking about players. We understand, like, yeah, hey, I'm not at the table with Bird and Magic and those guys. Hey, yeah, am I a great player? Yes, I am. I understand that. But there are levels and there's tables to this thing.
So he's right. There's tables. All the tables are in the same hotel. All the tables are in the same conference room or same ballroom or same event room. But it's certain tables that are preserved for them guys. I got a ring. I got multiple rings. I repeated. I three-peated. I got more than 4 rings. Different tables. Right? Even amongst the owners. Like these owners don't care. They're all billionaires. They all got other businesses that make money for them. But it's bragging rights with this stuff, right? You don't think that Kraft for the New England Patriots, when he walk around and get around some of them other owners, you don't think I got him, you don't. Imagine the Carolina Panthers owner and Mr. Kraft all at a dinner with the other owners. I'm wearing my ring. And I'm showing you that ring too. I'm showing you all of my rings. When the young Bucks that was playing Golden State and they was winning and they was trash talking on the Clay and Clay was on the bench, what did he do? He copied this from Kobe. But what did Clay do when he looked at him? He did this. I got 4 of them. You got 0. Kobe Bryant did the same thing. He was hurt in street clothes. The Lakers was getting blowed out by, I can't remember who. Somebody was trash talking him. He just looked at him and did this. And that's it. He didn't have to say nothing. The ultimate flex. But yet now we want to flex and say, oh no, forget them rings. What's up with them stats? If everybody was playing for stats, then I ain't never seen nobody come in and say, I'm number 1 in scoring. Never seen Kareem do it. I never seen Karl Malone do it. He was number 2 for a number of years. Never seen nobody do that. Never seen nobody. I seen people brag about their ring, but I ain't seen nobody brag about nothing else. I ain't seen nobody brag about nothing else. The greatest rebounder we probably ever seen, most people say Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman ain't even top 10 all time in rebounds. Dwight Howard got more rebounds than him. I think Mutombo got more rebounds. Dwight probably got more blocks than your favorite shot blocker too. Come on, it's about the rings, y'all. Here's Paul Pierce. Put a nail in the coffin.
Well, there has to be a measuring stick. And why do we play the game? You know, is it for the fame? Is it for the fortune? Because as a kid, you play to win. And you are always measured on how much you won. Mm-hmm. And sports will always be that way. Now, I remember LeBron left Cleveland to chase rings in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't that about trying to get a ring?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Right? Because he was trying to fulfill his legacy. You know, and same with Kevin Durant. So it just begs the question, like I said earlier, why do we play? You know, is it for fun? Is it for money? Is it for fame? Because I've always played to win, to be the best. And that's how we are measured as individuals, because when you are winning rings, it's proven that you are the best. And so it's kind of hypocritical for Bron to kind of say this, being that he went to Miami, then back to Cleveland, then to LA in search of rings. And that's how we measure sports across the board. In order to be the greatest, yeah, you can have all these. I could be on a bad team and have all the individual stats, but it doesn't make you great if you don't win. And that's why we measure players to that degree on how much you win and how many rings or trophies you got. It's all measured, and there is levels to this. You can't come to the Truth Lounge and just get in the VIP. You know, it's certain status that you got to have or a certain type of bankroll. Same in sports. It just is what it is. Some players are general admission. Some players are VIP. And then you got others who are VIP. And that's the upper echelon. So it just is what it is.
All right. This is the last time I'm going to open the phone lines up before I end the show. Phone number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Here's the question. When you're trying to identify who the greatest players are, what matters the most out of these three things? What you see on the floor is how good they are, their stats, or how often they've won. Call in and tell me, like how do y'all measure who the greatest players are? I want to hear from the people who don't believe rings should be counted. Let's hear from those people. Yeah, Paul did give him the business. Paul did give him the business. I heard them say how often they won. That's a big what about if you got drafted to a team who ain't never won before, a franchise who never won before, like Cleveland or Chicago? Or what if I never played with Shaq? If I would have played with Shaq, you don't think I would have got a ring? Boy, that's such a cop out. Kobe said, get Shaq away. I'm gonna show y'all what I could do. He went to 4 straight with Shaq. He went to 3 straight without Shaq. He's trying to show you, look, I can do it. Like Sasha said, you got to confirm what you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like my son used to say, hey, Dad, I can beat you in a shootout. All right, let's go best out of 10 from 5 different spots. And then he beat me. And the first thing I tell him is, hey, if you do it again, I'll believe it. And then if I beat you the second time, what you gonna say? Hey, best out of 3. And we'll do it again. If you can't do it more than once, back to back, and confirm the first one wasn't a fluke, I can always call it a fluke. Caller from Houston, what's up?
Man, what's up, man?
What's good?
I had to call back. I had to call back because, bro, you misrepresented what LeBron said, bro. LeBron didn't say nothing like that, bro. You
Okay.
he did not he never said, nigga, that the rings don't matter.
What did he say?
Like I'm saying, bro, he was just saying that, nigga, that the fight that he was taking up, and even the fight that he had to take up, LeBron got 4 rings.
Okay, what is he saying?
He said what he said, bro. He's saying, nigga, your greatness is not contingent on you winning the ring or not. That's all he said. That's all he was saying.
Oh, well, the conversation is over then because nobody ever said that your greatness was contingent on rings.
Bro,
who's ever said that?
Do you know how like the conversation like came about, bro? They talking about ring culture as far why is it so important in basketball more than any other sport, bro? That was the question, bro.
That wasn't a question.
You talking about did LeBron answer?
That wasn't a question. You misrepresenting that. Here's the bottom line.
Bro, that
here's
was
the bottom
question,
line.
bro.
Here's the bottom line.
Like, why you fronting, bro?
LeBron's answer was.
You be lying, man.
LeBron's answer was, I don't know why ring culture or rings matter, especially when it comes to my name. Right?
That's not what LeBron said, bro.
I'll play it again. Hold on. Here you go.
Oh, now you lying,
Here
bro.
you go. Listen to what he's the first words that come out of his mouth. I want you to listen. The first words that come out of his mouth. Listen.
Play
Hold
the
on.
question too, bro. Play the question too, bro.
I don't have the question, but here it is. Listen to it. Listen to it.
All right, I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I want to get out of here.
Oh, hold on, that ain't it. Hold on, wait.
Right?
Wait. Let it end first.
I ain't saying nothing.
But when you're in a big city, right, you don't want to leave that city.
All right, here we go right here. Listen.
A ring is a team accomplishment. I don't know where it started. It's just it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to me individually.
He said it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to me individually.
They talking about the ring culture, bro.
Right, like I said.
They asked them why is it so, bro? The question was why is it so? Why, like I'm saying, why does in basketball culture is like basically like why is it the end all be all, bro?
It's not the end all be all.
Why was it?
Who said that?
But that's the question that he answered, man, Dine.
Who said it was the end all be all?
Oh my God, man, Dine. It was a fan question, bro. The question from the fan was why is ring culture so prevalent in basketball more than any other of the other sports, bro?
Right, and who said it was the end all be all?
Bro, that was a question, bro.
No, but I'm asking who said it.
That was the question.
Who said it was the end all be all?
Big bro, the question was, bro, that was the question. Basically, the question was why is in basketball is championships seeming to be the only deciding factor? That's what the question was, bro.
Okay, so what circles is the rings the end all be all?
What do you mean? What are you talking about, bro?
The person who asked that question.
Steve Nash asked the question, bro.
No,
bro. I don't even know what you're saying.
Okay, so why would Steve Nash ask that question?
I don't know, bro.
He's implying that that's the climate around the NBA that is the end all be all rings.
No, bro. The person who asked the question is implying that, bro.
Okay, so why they're implying?
Steve Nash just asked the question, bro.
Where are they pulling that information from to ask that question?
Bro, ask the person who said, bro.
Okay, so so why did you
hear what you're saying right now?
Why did you call in if you can't answer to this?
What do you mean? Like, bro, okay, if you can answer, nigga, why you asking me?
I can answer it. It don't exist. I just told you.
Answer for me. Answer for me.
The question is, it doesn't exist. No one has ever said that rings are the end all be all.
So, but what they got to do with the person who asked the question, though, bro?
Because I'm asking you if LeBron.
That's a dumbass shit. That's some dumbass shit you're saying, bro.
If LeBron is answering the question as if it's a fact or it is accurate that it's the end all be all, where is he getting that information from? Because if it did, if ring culture didn't exist, then LeBron could have answered the question by saying, no, it's not the end all be all. I don't think nobody thinks that. But he's answering the question as if it is true.
Why would he lie though, bro?
So I'm asking you, are people?
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Are people
Nigga,
saying?
you sit up here talking about rings right now, bro?
Listen, are people?
Like, what are you
are people
yes,
saying it's
bro,
the end all be all?
Yes, bro. It's
Okay.
a lot of people that go by rings. That's it, bro.
All right,
you know that.
Rings and it's the end,
come on, nigga.
and it's the end all be all, right?
Like you know this, bro.
That what you
like,
saying?
I don't even know why you asking that question, bro.
So
I'm saying, bro, you know, it's a lot of it's a lot of people, bro. That you just sit up here saying LeBron not gonna get to Kobe the amount of rings that Kobe got, nigga. What are you saying?
I'm not saying it's the end all be all.
Because I'm saying everywhere else around the world, bro. Like I'm saying that's the only thing that Kobe has over LeBron, bro.
No, it's not.
Is that one extra? Give me something else that he has over.
The topic is not Kobe and LeBron. The topic is ring culture.
That's what. But bro, you asking me like the question that you asking me, like, bro, it's the same ring culture. But what I'm saying is that you need to listen to the question, bro, so you can know what you criticizing, bro.
I listened to the question.
LeBron,
I just didn't play the question.
All LeBron, what you're not acting like it, bro. Because all LeBron was saying, nigga, is what you're saying. Y'all saying the same thing.
No,
y'all both saying that it's not the end all be all. But how you find like ways to criticize when a person is saying the same thing you saying is crazy.
That's not what he's really saying. Right? What
is he really saying?
I explained to you what he's really saying. What he's really trying to do, because the first thing he said is this conversation is huge with my name.
This nigga really believe this.
He said, am I right or wrong? Did he say that? That's the first example, is that this conversation is used with his name. Am I right or wrong?
I mean, that ain't the first thing he said, but he said it. But go ahead.
It is the first thing he said, right?
No, it's not, bro.
So
go ahead.
So he said his name. So how is his name being used?
What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means.
How is his name being used when it comes to rings? You tell me. At a large clip. What is everybody saying about his name? What is everyone saying?
I don't hear everybody say nothing, bro.
So you don't know.
Like you got, listen, bro. You got Kobe above LeBron, right? No list that I ever see, nigga, has that.
All right.
So why would it?
So young, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. Young, this is what we're gonna do. Hold on.
You say don't go.
Wait, hold on. This is what we're gonna do, young. This is what we're gonna do.
Say don't go.
Hold on. This is what we're gonna do. Here's the rules.
Nobody agree with you.
Here's the rules. I'm gonna ask you a question, and same
rules for who?
The same. Rules for this show. The same tone that I have. The same tone that I have. You must have that tone. And when I ask a question, don't deflect and answer it. So my question is,
nigga, who the fuck you think you talking to, bro?
I'm talking to you. What do you mean?
Man, bro, you ain't talking, my nigga, you ain't giving me no rules or telling me what tone it.
Okay,
man, well, talk to me like a grown man, bro.
Well, let's get
look at you.
Act like a grown man. Act like a grown man.
Nigga, talking about tone, rules, man, bro, go ahead. You talking about I got an answer, don't deflect. Nigga, I just asked you something that the power before you deflected.
You got two choices.
Ahead, bro.
You got two
ask
choices.
Me a question. Man, bro.
You got two choices. Abide by the rules or hang the phone up. All right.
Ask the question, bro.
Here's the question. When it comes to LeBron and his name and rings, how are you hearing his name used in that conversation? Is it not that he don't?
I hear it used all kind of ways.
Okay,
I hear it used all kind of ways.
Explain how you hear.
Nigga, I hear it used that he got 4 chips and 4 final MVPs. The second to Jordan. I hear it all kind of ways. Bro, if you arguing for him, you're gonna say a certain thing. If you arguing against him, you're gonna say a certain thing. So like, what are you talking about, bro?
So
you're saying everybody arguing something.
So
I don't know everybody arguing.
I got to hand walk you to all of this stuff because you don't understand the topic.
Man, hand walk me, bro.
You don't understand, the topic. The topic is that people are using LeBron's name negatively when it comes to rings. How is
when
his
the
name?
hell did that become the topic? When did that become the topic, bro?
That's how he answered the question.
I thought we were talking about ring culture.
That's how he answered the question.
You didn't make this. Okay, so what you asking me about? Okay. About LeBron now.
I'm not gonna ask you because you playing dumb.
Right.
I just tell you.
Bro,
Yeah,
tell me. When
they asked the question about ring culture, he said, "I don't know. I don't know where it came from, but it's huge when it comes to my name." And the reason why it's huge when it comes to his name is because everyone used that to put Kobe and MJ over him.
No, they don't, bro. Why they one list with Kobe above LeBron, bro? You saying everyone? Who the fuck is everyone?
Explain to me how his name is being used.
Who the fuck is everyone?
Explain to me how his name is being used negatively when it comes to rings.
bro, you already know that. I just said it. If you argue for him, you gonna use the. I just said that, bro.
How?
Like, what do you?
How?
Like, why do you gotta?
How?
Man, bro,
How?
bro, how what,
How?
bro? How
How?
what?
How? Tell
How
me what are they saying about LeBron
Man,
and rings?
bro, you tell me, because I don't know.
I just told
you. Talking
you.
about how?
I just
don't know
told
how
you.
everybody. Well, if you just told me, nigga, why you asking me how?
I want you to get it on record.
I understand what you're saying.
Get it on record.
I understand what you're saying, bro.
Okay.
But I'm saying you keep, but you instead of saying everybody, right? I'm saying, so why don't not one list have Kobe over LeBron?
That's not the topic. The topic is ring coaching. So LeBron.
I can say it.
All I'm trying to
stop saying that then.
All I'm trying to establish,
nigga.
Bro, you got one more time to curse and one more time to say the N word. However you want to end the conversation is go in for sure. You can hang up or I hang up.
Bro, that's your right. Bro, you know that don't bother me, bro.
Either you hang up or I hang up, but it's gonna be some order.
That don't bother me. Why?
It's gonna be some order.
Why you repeating yourself?
Okay,
go ahead, bro. Go
ahead. The conversation is about ring culture. The conversation is about how LeBron answered the question, and he said that his name. That's the first thing he said is that his name is being used in the conversation negatively. The only way his name is being used in the conversation negatively is when it comes to the GOAT debate.
Bro, everybody heard that.
Okay,
but it ain't involving Kobe though.
I don't care who you said involved, but that's how they've been used negatively.
I'm just saying.
All right.
But you keep saying that though.
He don't have more than Kobe either. So that's on his mind.
Kobe don't got more than Robert Horry. So what that mean?
All
that
right,
mean
cool.
shit.
I think that's cool. Right. So
He got double the amount of final MVPs, 4 times the amount of MVPs, 21 all NBAs, and like.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I ain't trying to deflect.
His resume don't even
see what you're doing is talking. Resume. What you're doing is talking in circles and deflecting away from the main topic. We can't
deflecting from what, bro?
We can't even
deflecting from what?
We can't even, bro. Listen,
we're talking about ring culture. We're not talking about LeBron.
Listen, you got to be able to you got to be able to hold an intelligent conversation with an intelligent person, man. You sound foolish, man.
Hey, bro, I'm unintelligent. I'm unintelligent, bro. I mean,
you sound foolish.
Like you very intelligent. That's what I see. Like
you sound foolish.
Hang your head on that, bro.
You sound foolish.
Hey, hang your head on that, bro. You sit up here talking about ring culture guy, and you keep steady trying to sneak Kobe in and talking about Kobe and Mike, bro. Don't know, bro. I would listen to you, bro, if it was some list or just like if I ran across a group, bro. Not one list has Kobe like in front of LeBron. But you're trying to frame it like everybody using this or that. Man, stop it.
Is that what
Is
that what you called to say?
Stop it.
Is that Kobe is not over LeBron, and that's not even the topic?
And I called to say everything I said. Like, I'm responding off what you said.
This is what I want you to do.
Saying that, nigga.
This is what I want you to do.
Saying that.
This is what I want you to do. I want you to go find one of my Kobe videos and go comment on it because Kobe's not the topic right here.
Then why you keep bringing him up?
I'm trying to get to a point.
Then why you keep bringing him up? So you're trying to get to a point. You bringing a dude up, nigga. Hey, bro, I'm gonna respond to that point, bro. Don't bring him up if you don't want me to, bro. If you don't want me to baptize him, don't bring him up.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, bro, you keep talking about the ring culture and Kobe and Mike. You bringing Kobe. I ain't bringing Kobe up, bro. You brought him up, bro. So if you don't want somebody to respond
what's on the screen,
then don't bring him up.
Look at the screen and tell me where you see Kobe name it.
Bro, then don't bring him up, bro.
No, look on the screen. Where you see Kobe name it?
Then why are you bringing him up, bro?
I played 3 sound bites. I played 3 sound bites. One of them was from Charles Barkley, one of them was from T-Mac, Gilbert Arenas, and the other one was from Steve Smith, right? And the other one was from LeBron. So though I didn't play not one Kobe sound bite.
So why are you talking about Kobe?
Gilbert Arenas and Tracy McGrady brought up Kobe, and I was showing you why Tracy McGrady. I was showing you why Tracy McGrady and Kobe are not equal. I didn't say not one time
that's not what you did, bro.
That I wanted to talk about Kobe and LeBron being where they ranked it.
You keep putting it, bro. You keep saying that, bro. I never said one thing about Kobe. You keep bringing Kobe up.
Whenever we try to get down the road on this conversation on the ring culture, you're not smart enough to have that conversation because you keep saying, "Oh, shiny object over here."
Because you're smarter than me, bro. Because you're smarter than me,
Because
bro.
now you want to talk
You
about
smarter than me,
Kobe
bro.
because that's the only conversation you think you can
So
intelligently
you didn't bring
have.
up Kobe?
Man,
So you didn't bring up Kobe?
Man, this conversation's over. Have a good day, big dog.
All right, but
It don't even make sense. Like it don't even make sense for us to try to have a conversation and we trying to get to some type of, understanding about something. And all this dude is up here running his mouth, talking 100 miles per hour, cursing, saying the N-word, talking over people. Like, dude, like that's like one. I ain't even gonna lie. That's I ain't even gonna call it what it is. That's something else right there. Like you got to be able to navigate a conversation even when in a disagreement, and you can't keep using the excuse. I mean, because Young cool as a fan. I talk to him offline and stuff like that. But Young, you can't keep using it as an excuse that you're passionate about basketball, because you got to have some type of emotional intelligence where you don't have to sound like that. You can be passionate about it and not do that. You don't have to be like that, dog. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people passionate about basketball, but it's like you got to be able to hone that in and just have a conversation, even if we don't agree. I'm not hyped up about you disagreeing with what I say or you saying something I disagree with. I'm not hyped up about that. It's just a sport. It's just a sport. We having a conversation, man. But all that stuff, man. I mean, you making me not want to answer your calls no more. And you know what I'm saying? I like answering your calls. I like having you on the show and having a conversation. But that was unpleasant. That was an unpleasant conversation. I mean, we forgot 5 or 6 times what the topic was. I don't even know where we was going. Like, no one wants to feel like, all right, we having a disagreement about this one thing, and while we discussing this thing that we disagree with, we open up 13 different topics and you screaming about all of them. Open up. Caller, what's up?
Hello?
Yeah, caller, you got to cut YouTube off in the background.
Okay. Yeah, I just want. It's a little bit off subject, but I'm sorry. I thought I stopped it. My bad. Hold on. All right, we good now?
Well, how you called in to be off topic on purpose?
No, I mean it's relevant to the last conversation. I just want to say it's amazing to me how sensitive these grown ass men can be about defending LeBron. That's all I really wanted to say, because it's like the guy got all of his feelings. He was like going on, and I'm like, bro, it's just you talking about basketball. It's your girlfriend. I mean, come on. That's all I wanted to say, man. It's my first time checking your show out, but I'm subscribed. You know, so I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted to make a quick comment off topic.
All right,
semi off topic.
I appreciate it, man. What you got any comments on the topic?
As far as ring culture, I mean, we all know LeBron's trying to change the narratives. I mean, I was having a debate with one of my good friends from college a couple of days ago, and he was saying that LeBron only made that comment because of what Stephen A. Smith had said about Giannis, and Giannis would be underachieving. So my boy's like, so you're saying that Charles Barkley underachieved? Charles Barkley would tell you, he won't say he underachieved, but Charles Barkley would tell you that he's not at the table with Mike, Kobe, and Larry Bird, those guys in Magic. So it's like, at the end of the day, LeBron is now trying to paint the narrative of, rings aren't that important. I told my boy, I said, look, if LeBron has 7 rings, this shit wouldn't come out of I'm sorry. This would not have come out of his mouth.
Agreed.
Period, point blank. No one can tell me anything any different. He would never make that comment if he had more rings than Kobe and Jordan. So it's like he's very self-serving. I mean, I don't know a person. I always say I don't like the guy, but I don't like his antics and tactics and the way he's trying to manipulate the game. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
All right, man. I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. You take care. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
All right.
Caller from Texas.
What's up, brother?
Yo, what's good? What's up?
It's funky town.
What's good, bro?
Huh?
What's good?
Hey. Told you stop negotiating with terrorists. Told you.
Hey, look. Sometimes, sometimes you think you can have a good conversation with a man, and then sometimes you're just wrong.
No, I mean he's passionate. I give him that. You know, I think I don't think he understands. You know, he gets a little too over his skis sometime, and then you come back and try to correct. You know, or like keep him on whatever. You know, he gets upset and then he ends up saying things, and like I can tell he's trying to you know, curb his using of the word and all that other stuff. But man, he gotta realize, man, he crashing out and stuff like that. I mean, you gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, it ain't a good look.
Because it takes people away from your point. But hey, but on this topic, I mean, I think, well, you already know what I've been saying about this bum for the longest. You're gonna be the biggest ring chaser ever, and you're gonna talk about now does where did this culture come from? Really? You the one making up teams, super teams, giving yourselves all the advantage, and then now that you can see that horizon is way too far, you ain't gonna make it. Now all of a sudden there's a question. Where does emphasis on rings come from? Oh, okay. So I guess we're all stupid.
We must be.
Like we ain't all been here witnessing this whole time.
Correct. The standard has been a standard for so long, and now we want to change it and create a new standard and say, oh man, let's not use rings as part of the equation. If that's the case, what's going to matter to the new people that's watching the NBA is not going to be aligned with winning. Like the ultimate goal and why everybody is paying and getting played is to win for their organization and win for their team. And now you're telling me the way we're going to determine who the greatest players is not going to be based on winning. It's going to be based on something else like stats. And then you can go get them stats and never win and be considered the greatest. Like that don't make no sense at all.
This is all manipulating everybody to only look at longevity.
Correct.
Right? That's all it is. It's getting steered to longevity.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Look what I did over all this time. And I forget the comedian said. He said, "Man, the dude been in the league since he was in preschool. No wonder you got the most of everything." You know what I'm saying? Like in all seriousness, think about this for a second. Had Kareem not gone to college, or even got out of college early, are we really having this conversation?
I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean,
but I'm saying he could have either chased. No, he just now passed.
Probably.
But I mean, but that's you know, if this was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. I mean, we can do that all day.
Correct.
But that ain't what we're again. But you're trying to skew the conversation so that it's about what's gonna make you look good. Because ain't nobody. I don't remember anybody having a hand up his behind, making him puppet on that stage in Miami when he first got there, talking about not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. I don't remember that. I don't remember anybody else making him say that.
Facts.
Right? That was him do that, right? That was that grown man did that. Had been in the league for how many years by that point?
6, 7.
So yeah, you have to miss me. You have to miss me with this excuses. You know, you're weak behind. I mean, to me, it's just weak. That's the only way I know how to say it. Man, look, if you made it, you know what I'm saying? Look, man, if you're gonna beat me, just beat me straight up. You know what I mean? So for me to
you still there?
Injuries and stoppages. 13 and a half years.
Yeah, you was breaking up.
I'll give you 15. If you could have matched or surpassed him in 15 years, or matter of fact, if we can take 15 years of your career that'll pass what he did, okay.
Yeah.
I'm there with you. But you know what? There ain't no 15 years in his career that matches what Jordan did. It comes close, to be quite frank with you.
That's a fact, man. Hey, look.
And one more thing.
Go
one
ahead.
more thing.
Go ahead.
If you really want to look at the dude's stats, leading the league in history of the league in turnover and all that other stuff, you're basically looking at Karl Malone with more ball handling skills.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna call it skills. He just had the ball in his hand more.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's really who you're looking at.
Yep. All right, Jeff, man. Let me get to this other caller. Yep. Caller, what's good? Can you hear me?
What's good? What's good?
What's popping, man? What's your thoughts?
Chilling. Hey, this.
Oh man, you breaking up. I can't hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just got one quick thing to say. It's more like a question for everybody to think about. You got to ask yourself, why does dude keep answering questions, dude, me and LeBron? Why he keep answering questions that pretty much keep him in the GOAT conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like, every question asked is literally a question
that
just kind of keeps his stock in the GOAT conversation. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question. No, that's a perfect question, man. Yeah. I mean, listen, man, this the most telegraphed pass we've ever seen in sports, man. We can see it coming. But I mean, we can see it coming before the ball leave his hands, man. Like, we see this pass. We see what you're doing with this podcast. Even when he first announced it and said what the purpose of the podcast was, we already knew it was propaganda and what the propaganda was aimed to. You know what I mean? So we see it. And every time he, just like you said, every single time he come out here, every question, every episode is really something that's supposed to help his legacy and help his GOAT case. And it's nothing that you can help unless you bring back the person who brought Lazarus to life, because your GOAT conversation is dead. It's deceased. Like, it's not living. It hasn't been living since 2011. Like, it's dead. Like, everybody killed it. And everybody keep trying to daggone pump life into it, and there's no life to be had in it, man. But I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the call.
Hey, no problem.
Yep.
Do your thing.
Yep. All right, we can take one more. It was a caller from Melbourne, Florida that kept calling in and couldn't get in. Oh, yeah, this Tennessee caller was trying to get in too. I'm gonna try to get a couple of y'all in here. Hey, caller, shut down YouTube in the background and go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up, big dog?
What's going on? Yeah. What's up, man? Down. Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem.
Yeah. I see a lot of your videos, man, and I'll be able to watch the playbacks. This first live I've been able to catch, and I just want to first say that, man, that stuttering dude who keeps calling, he's kind of like your show village idiot.
Yeah, so I don't listen. I don't have no name calling that I want to get in him, man. I like Young Disciple, man. It's just, you know, you got to have some order to the show, and you definitely got to have some respect, you know. And you know, just I guess from I guess whatever he's surrounded around, you know, he don't see none of what he doing is disrespectful. But you got to be more respectful for that, man. So I mean, if you still listen to Young Disciple, I mean, I told you that a couple of times. Look, I'm a grown man. I'm a gentleman, so I'm not gonna come at you with like force of negativity. But for sure, the respect got to be there. If you want me to stay respectful too. So, but nah, we're not gonna say no name calling or say nothing bad about him, man.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I just see a lot of the shows like you and him be going back and forth. I just be like, man, like, who is this dude? Like, but like, and like, no, when you lie, you tend to stutter, and it seemed like, yeah, he be full of it so many times, like what he be talking.
Yeah,
that's like he knows. And I just want to say, like, this ring culture thing, it's been I think that's like that's just another desperate attempt to try to sneak LeBron through the back door amongst true greats.
Absolutely.
And another desperate attempt to tear down true greats just to build this guy up, man. It's going crazy, man.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan for 40 years and counting now.
And this dude has managed to actually make me glad to see my team lose. That's never happened.
Golly.
That's how bad it is. So it's him, his media apologists, and that Coke fan base. These people are just, man, these people are out of line, man. It's got crazy. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess yeah. I mean, I can show some respect right now, but it just I've been like, it's gotten out of hand, man.
Nah, I agree, man. I appreciate the call, man. Make sure you call back again, man. Hopefully you can catch all the live. Hey, look, I need a day because I used to go live every Tuesday at 4:30 my time, Pacific time. I'm in Cali, right? But then I got busy because my daughter was doing soccer and volleyball, so I ain't have nothing but late nights to do. But I'm trying to find a day that's really good to go live at the same time on that day, like I was doing on Tuesdays. So I'm trying new things out. This is one of my first times going live on Saturday. So it worked out pretty decent. Saturday could work. But y'all let me know what time or what day. All right. So tell me weekdays or weekends, and then tell me the time for each. Y'all just put it in the comment section. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a choice. I can either do weekdays, definitely during the summer. I can do weekdays at 4:30 my time, which is 7:30 on the East Coast. So weekdays 4:30 my time, 7:30 on the East Coast, or weekends lunchtime like 11 o'clock, or weekends morning time like a morning show. Y'all put it in the comment section. All right, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
I appreciate you.
Yep. Y'all put it in the comment section. Morning time weekends, afternoon weekends, or evening time weekdays. I see a weekday. And fancy, ain't nobody mad at you, girl. I don't get mad at people. If Young Disciple can't get me mad, come on now. I don't get mad. Life's too short to be mad about something. And if I get mad, it's only for a second. Weekday evening time. Okay, weekday evening. Because I want to make sure I get the maximum participation. I remember when I was consistent on my Tuesdays, I went from 50 live viewers to 150 live viewers to 300. And then I had 2 shows in a row to where I was getting between 1,000 and 14,000 people in the live. Like right now, we got about 400. We got up to about 415 peak today. I like that number. Anything close to 5, I like, but I really enjoyed it when I had 1,000 in there, and that only happened like twice. But when I got up to 1,000, that's when I got busy, and then I couldn't be consistent, so it dropped again. So I'm trying to find out what time I can get everybody in here, because we got over 35,000 subscribers on the channel. So if I getting the live viewership to like 1,000 should not be that hard. So it's probably just about my consistency and all about what day and times I go. So create a poll. All right, Jenny. All right, I do that. I do a poll. What about weekend evenings? I kind of do that now, but it ain't no set time. But I'll figure something out. And then if that day works, I'm gonna try to get it to where I can go every day. It's probably starting next basketball season. I'll probably go every single day. So we'll see. But yeah, so we get no more phone calls. Hello, what happened to that Georgia and Florida call? That was a Georgia and Florida call. But I guess I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, last topic, y'all. This is not gonna be long. I just kind of wanted to kind of get into the WNBA because it's one more game. Game 7's tomorrow for the finals NBA. We still got a little while before football preseason starts. So WNBA is going. I mean, I'm watching it already, enjoying it. But everybody might not be watching, so I kind of want to get y'all caught up. But before we get into some of the basketball part of it, I guess we got to get into the drama, because there's a lot of drama around the WNBA, right? Starting with, of course, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But before we get to them, my girl, I forgot who she played for, McCautry. Man, I like McCautry. Man, I always like that game. She didn't play for Connecticut. She didn't play for. Did she play for Tennessee? I think McCautry played for Tennessee back when Pat Summitt was there. One of my favorite players. I like McCautry. But she was on the podcast, and she said something about the WNBA I thought was interesting. I'm gonna play it for y'all.
If Hailey Van Lith had 10,000 followers, would she be in the league? Just from her talent right now, would she be in the league if she only had 10,000 followers? If there was another girl out here who was just as talented as Hailey Van Lith.
Deja Kelly is good enough to be in the league. I think Deja Kelly is better than Hailey Van Lith.
What players have to do, since we're in a different time, you have to go to marketing classes. How do I get my engagement up, my following up, so that even though I know I'm just as good as this player, but she got more following, or I'm even better, I got to get my following up so this political thing they do, it ain't going to affect me. It's clout. It's kind of like, I'm going to give y'all an example. One of my favorite singers, I went to his concert. This was before Vegas won the championship. I'm not even gonna put his name out there. No, I had knew him from playing in Atlanta.
It was Usher, wasn't it? It was Usher.
Okay,
it was Usher,
I ain't saying no names. I'm like, yo, come to a game. He's like, oh man, I gotta go to LA and record. Soon as I'm not on the team now, because like I heard they didn't bring me back. You online? Oh, Asia Wilson, I gotta come to a game. You at the game next week? I know I invited you to a game. So it's clout. So guess what, girls? Since they want clout, give them the clout. Play the game. Boost yourself. Boost that following. Give them some clout. Get into it. What did you say, that fake article shit?
Get Centel.
Centel your motherfucking self. It's not based off your talent no more. Let's keep it real. You can be as good as you want to be. You don't have to follow, you're not in.
Truth of the matter is Clark.
Okay, so that was McCautry, and somebody said I got it wrong with her playing for Tennessee. It was Louisville. You're right about that. I think she won a championship with them. I'm not sure. But yeah, I like her, man. She's a hooper. But yeah, so that's one part of the WNBA that's going on right now, is that it's a popularity contest right now. Even with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the most marketed player, most talked about player, and it's not based on her being the best player, right? When Michael Jordan was the best player and the most talked about and the most marketed player, it all matched. Because if your most marketed and talked about player is the best player, then that makes a whole lot of sense, right? And it works because eventually they're going to win more ball games. They're going to win rings, win championships, and everything's going to be validated. All the attention that he was getting was validated because he was the best player. But all the attention that Caitlin is getting is going to be very hard to validate because there's like probably 10 girls better than her. She's a very good player. She's an all-star. She'll be an all-star probably every year. All right. So she's always going to be, if they pick 10 players per all-star team, she's always going to be a top 20 player until she retire probably. Right. So that's not a problem. It's easy for her to be top 20, but when it's 10 girls better than you, but you're the one that's getting the most attention, you know, that the league is going to have some issues because now if your most talked about players are getting put out in the first round, second round, and not really making deep playoff runs, then, you know, then what do? Right? Are you going to start rigging games so they can go far so it can make sense? Especially if you sign with Nike. Nike put a lot of pressure on these leagues. Like I'm invested all this money in this player, and y'all making her look bad because she's getting whooped. She's getting beat. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of politics come to play in. And I don't like her example of Hailey Van Lith. I think Hailey Van Lith just caught a huge stray that she didn't even deserve, because I really do think that her game is good enough to be in the league. So, I mean, she definitely would have got drafted. She would have got drafted after her first or second year when she was at Louisville, before she even went to LSU or wherever school she went to after LSU. So she was that good. I mean, she went to the Olympics. You know, she won. Did she win gold as a 3-on-3 first year time during the 3-on-3 tournament? She won gold. Like, she can hoop, she can ball. She's tenacious. She got a jump shot, but she is dating an NBA basketball player, Jalen Suggs. That relationship's public. She's a pretty girl, right? She get a lot of attention on social media. She twerks. She dragging a wagon. You know what I mean? Pretty blue eyes, blonde hair. She's a pretty girl. So of course she's going to get a lot of attention. So what she's saying is that without all of that clout that she has on social media, she wouldn't be in the league. I don't agree with that. I think she can hoop. Now, there is girls that's not in the league that's probably better than her. I agree with that part. There's some girls that got cut because it's really the money ain't coming in like they wanted to come in for you to be able to sign everybody. So there's a lot of first round draft picks that go to a team and they end up getting cut because, look, we got vets on here that we can use more than we can use you, and we can't afford to just have someone learning on the bench and making good money, right? So a lot of girls are getting cut. They can actually hoop, right? So that part of it is true. So that's one of the things you got to know about the WNBA when you get into it, is that you're going to hear a lot of names and see a lot of faces. And if you're new to the league, you're going to think that those names you're hearing are the best that they got to offer. And it's not really true. You have to actually get down and check these girls out to see who the best really is, right? Caitlin Clark, that's another name that's that you're going to hear a lot for good reason. The girl got an exciting version of basketball she plays because she shoot a lot of deep threes and she shoot it unconsciously. She can play, she feisty, she plays to the crowd and all that good stuff, man. So that you hear her name. But what recently happened with her, well, we all know what happened last season. We already know that she had the entire media behind her, pushing her agenda, saying that all the girls was jealous of her. All the hard fouls and the tough defense against her was based on jealousy. Like, just playing very good defense on Caitlin Clark would get the entire media, mind you, the media that just started watching the WNBA last year, they're coming in like, oh, those girls are jealous. I've never seen a girl get fouled like that. And it's just footage of girls getting fouled like that all over the place, especially when Candace Parker was a rookie. There was an entire brawl with Detroit. And I think, and the crazy thing about this, she was playing for the Sparks, LA Sparks, being coached by Michael Cooper, who's an LA Laker, playing against the Detroit. What was the Detroit team back then? They need to bring that team back. But Detroit, I forgot the name of that team. But they was playing for the Detroit team that was coached by Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn. So you had two Detroit bad boys coaching the Detroit. Was it Detroit Shock? I think it was Detroit Shock, coaching the Detroit Shock team, and a Michael Cooper Showtime Laker coaching the LA Sparks, right? And then you got this rookie sensation in Candace Parker, who came in and won MVP as a rookie, but she came in and was hooping, and the attention that Caitlin Clark was getting now, Candace Parker was getting the attention like that in the WNBA, not up to that magnitude as far as the social media following and all of that support. But for the people who was paying attention to the WNBA then, she was a big focal point because in Tennessee, she was dunking in college. She won a dunk contest coming out of high school against boys. She hooped. She won championships with Pat Summitt at Tennessee. She was just unstoppable. So she get drafted by the Sparks, playing alongside Lisa Leslie, and she was getting in a lot of tassels, and it was a huge brawl, almost like the Malice in the Palace type fight. Cheryl Ford, which is Karl Malone's daughter, she tore her ACL during the fight. The fight was huge. Go Google it. Go look it up. The fight was huge, but Candace Parker was getting, she was getting beat up all season and still won MVP, right? So it's not the first time we've seen Caitlin Clark go through this, player in the WNBA go through this type of rookie attention. right? So don't believe that. But now people are actually starting to see Caitlin Clark for what she really is. Every time a black girl fouled Caitlin Clark, they said it was jealousy and racism. It took for white girls to do the same thing to her for people to actually see it for what it really is. So here's Outkick the Coverage, one of the platforms that supported Clark the most and called Angel Reese every name in the book except the child of God and all of these things. Now they're starting to see Caitlin Clark for what she really is.
Flopped. Clark flopped her ass off. Technical foul on Mabry, right. That's it. No ejection. Good. See, referees suck in the WNBA. They're DEI hires and they're awful. But one thing that they did understand was, well, Caitlin Clark's a flopper. Caitlin Clark is a flopper. I'm supposed to call it a joke. No, but I won't do that. I thought they handled it absolutely perfectly. I did. I thought Mabry handled it perfectly. I thought that the girl Sheldon handled it perfectly. And I thought Clark did what Clark does. Flop, instigate, then run away. That's what she does. I mean, people can get mad about it, and I know she's the holy grail for everything, including our show, but I got to tell you, that's what she does.
He said that's what she does. Flop, instigate, and run away. That's really what she does. She agitate everybody. She flops. She runs away when the smoke comes, and then the next morning you get an entire ESPN network and all of these other podcasts like Outkick the Coverage and all these other things that'll come up and protect her and call everybody jealous and call everybody racist and do all of these things and it don't be true, but you know, if you say a lie long enough and enough times, then people start to believe it and it becomes the truth in a lot of people's eyes. But now people are starting to see it for what it really is. And it took for her to get into it with two girls that looked like her. There was no black girls involved. And now the people that was always protecting her, now once it's two white individuals, they're looking at it for what it really is. Not jealousy, not all this other stuff, not racism. They're just, look, man, Caitlin Clark, you got to stop flopping. No, I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's flopping. Here's somebody else talking about it.
Clark. I might go against everybody on this one. She is an amazing player. She is an awesome player, but she is an absolute flopper.
Yep.
She is a flopper, an embellisher. She talks. Mm-hmm. She's on camera last night saying, I can do whatever the fuck I want to somebody.
Yep.
And then she gets lightly pushed a couple times. I would put Caitlin Clark's ability to fall at the slightest touch up there with any GOAT ever. When she got pushed last night, nobody falls like that. She falls with her whole body. That's what that's why I think she's a drama queen. I think she's a great player, but she flops. Caitlin.
See, I mean, people are calling it out for what it really is, and it's the same people that was protecting her last year, right? But it's a little bit different now. So that's one thing. Caitlin Clark is not even a top 10 player. I mean, it's debatable. She probably is in the top 10, but I can easily name Nafisa Collier, Asia Wilson, who both was the 1 and 2 in the MVP race last year. I think Paige Beckers is as a rookie is better than Caitlin Clark. I think Skylar Diggins is still better than Caitlin Clark. I think name some other guards. Not Jackie Young. I think Caitlin Clark is better than Jackie Young. I think this girl's name is on the tip of my tongue. Lord. I think Jewel Lord is better. That's 5. I think Brianna Stewart, that's 6. I think Kelsey Plum, that's 7. I think Anescu, that's 8. So easily I can get 8 girls. So I'll probably put Clark at maybe 9 or 10. I'll probably put Clark at 9 or 10. So but that's going to start going down as players are getting better. I think Clark might be at her peak. I think she just got to sustain this as long as possible. I don't see more of a ceiling for her, for her to go. I do see that for Paige. Paige is going to be phenomenal. What else is going on? Let's talk about the standings. Liberty 10-2. They lost to the Fever. Caitlin Clark came back, and that's when she hit that 6 or 7 threes that game. That was her first game back from her hamstring injury. She exploded on them. They done lost 2 straight, I think, but they started out 9-0. They're 10-2 now, and then the Dream is 9-4. Those are the top teams in the East. And then the Fever is playing 500 basketball, and everybody under her, the Fever in the East, is playing below 500 basketball. But I think the top teams that are real contenders are the Liberty and the Dream. I don't think the Fever are real contenders, but they're like number 2 in ticket sales and or attendance at their home games, which is interesting because if you look at the West Coast, the expansion team, the Golden State Valkyries, they're also 6-6. Surprisingly, as an expansion team, right? And they didn't even get the number 1 draft pick. I thought the WNBA would have gave them Paige as a gift to, so their expansion team can start off good, but they wasn't eligible to get the number 1 pick. They could only get like a expansion draft. So they pick some players off some unprotected players, right? So that's how they do. They do the expansion draft, and I think the WNBA was able to protect 6 players on their roster, maybe 7 players on their roster that couldn't get drafted, but the bottom if they got a 12-man roster, the bottom 5 could be selected for draft, right? So they got a bottom 5 player from each team in the expansion draft of their pick, and they got a 6-6 record. They just beat the Fever the other night pretty bad. Clark only had 9 or 10, or she had 9 or 11 points, and she was 0 from 7 from 3, and they guarded her to go right the entire game, so she couldn't get to her step back 3, and that was very effective, right? So so that team is surprisingly good at 6-6. But then above that, you got the Minnesota Lynx, who just lost their first game recently. They started out 9-0 as well, just like the Liberty did. So they're 11-1. And then you got the Storm. I don't have a good opinion about them yet because I haven't watched them play a full game. Yeah, so they could be a contender in Seattle, but definitely the Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx, right? So that's one of the storylines as well. You got 2 teams doing real good in the East and 2, possibly 3 teams doing real good in the West. The MVP ladder for me is easily Nafisa Collier in Minnesota. This girl is averaging 26 points a game, which is the best in the league. She's top 5 in blocks, top 5 in steals, top 5 in rebounds. She got Defensive Player of the Year last year. Am I still breaking up, Thomas? She got Defensive Player of the Year last year. Oh, did my sound go out? Hold on. Let me check. Can y'all hear me? Test. Can y'all still hear me? Okay, I'm good now. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so my pick for MVP so far is the Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. She's number 1 in scoring, averaging 26 a game. She's top 5 in rebounds, top 5 in blocks, top 5 in steals. I gotta go check to see what she is in assists though. But that's just showing you that she's elite scorer and an elite defender. Other evidence that she's an elite defender is she got Defensive Player of the Year last year, and she was number 2 in the MVP race behind Aja Wilson. So imagine being an elite scorer, the best scorer in the league, and also the best defender in the league. We ain't seen that since Michael Jordan. right? So this is what Nafisa, that's the type of season she's doing on top of being the best team in the league. So she's got the best record in the league. She's outscoring everybody, and she's defending at an elite level. She's easily number one for the MVP. Unfortunately, the reigning MVP in Asia Wilson, they made some trades. They got rid of Kelsey Plum. They bought in Jewel Lord, but they can't seem to get her to fit in, and this team ain't playing and performing up to par. And Asia Wilson had a concussion, so she missed like 3 straight games. So I don't know if they'll ever get back on track, but she's been a top person for MVP for the last 3 or 4 years. She already got 3 MVPs. She might even got 4. I'm not even sure, but she's got so many MVPs. But this year might be the first year she's not in the top 3. Like, I don't have Asia Wilson in my top 3 for MVP right now. So it's definitely Nafisa at 1. And at number 2, I'm probably going to go with Anescu for the New York Liberty at 2. And then 3, I haven't decided yet because I still have to go and look and see what's going on with the Atlanta Dream, because Alicia Gray is balling out for them. And I also got to go see what they're doing over in Seattle, because Dominque and Skylar Diggins are there. So I got to watch the Dream play more. And I got to watch the Mercury and the Storm play more to see who my top candidates is. Of course, Caitlin Clark is getting a lot of buzz because she's averaging 22 points. She was the number 1 in assists at 9.2 assists, but now I think she got surpassed by what's the point forward that plays for, I think she played for the Mercury now. What's her name? Alyssa Thomas. She plays point forward kind of like Draymond, and she's averaging 9.3 assists. So she's number 1 now, but Caitlin's number 2 in assists. So she's 9 assists a game, 22 points, and I think she's getting 6 rebounds, maybe 7 rebounds. And we already know that people's brains short circuit when they see a triple-double or anything close to a triple-double. So people will see the almost triple-double average for Caitlin Clark at 22, 6, and 9. That's an almost triple-double, and automatically ignore defense and automatically ignore the fact that her team is playing 500 basketball, and they'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams out of 12 better than hers, which put her at number 6, and it's only, 13 teams? So you're a middle-of-the-pack team, and people want to reward you with the MVP because of the triple-double numbers. So I wanna caution people for that, because my MVP ladder is going to come out once I start watching some more games. I'm going to come out with my first MVP ladder. As a matter of fact, I think I got my last MVP ladder from last year. Let me see if I can pull up my MVP ladder from last year. Did I delete it? Yeah, I deleted it. Sheesh. I could have showed y'all. I got my one from the NBA, but I don't have my one for the WNBA. But this might have been, this wasn't last year, this was year before last. I think Jokic won it that year. This is probably one of my first weeks. What is this one? Yeah, that's pretty much the same one. But yeah. I'll come out with my MVP ladder for sure. And we'll definitely have some conversations surrounding the WNBA and the MVP ladder and all that stuff, man. But that's it, man. I just wanted to kind of update y'all on that. I'm gonna end the stream. This has been a long one. Thomas said, did you see Fees dominate Stewie in the one-on-one team? Fees nasty, dog. Fees is nasty. I want y'all to think about this. This girl played at the MVP level last year. She lost to Asia Wilson. She was number 2 in voting, but she won Defensive Player of the Year. Right? I honestly think Asia could have got Defensive Player of the Year and MVP last year. But they split the baby. So they gave it to Fees. But this girl played at the MVP level and a Defensive Player of the Year level all last year and got all the way to the finals. Lost to New York Liberty. I think Minnesota had that finals won. I know they wish they still. They had that one won. I don't know how they lost that one, but they lost it. So she got all the way to the finals. In between the season, she played in the Olympics. Very key in the Olympics and winning gold. So she had WNBA season, a break, playing the Olympics, come back, pick up the season again, long playoff run, losing the finals, and then went straight into the league called Unrivaled, which she co-started. And then she handled the business side of it, went on a promotional tour on all types of podcasts and platforms promoting the season before it started, and then played in the season, and then played in one-on-one tournaments, and then rolled right into this season and ain't missed a beat. Like, think about that. And I think she just had a baby a couple of years ago too. So she's a young mother with a young child. She's doing a lot. She's doing a lot, man. And for us not to know her name for real, that's insane. Somebody said, can he call in? I didn't think people wanted to call in on WNBA, but I opened the phone lines up. I opened it up for 1 or 2 calls. Yeah, we can do that. And then I can end the show. B-New, what's good? Caught you live. Yeah, no doubt. I'm glad you did. Sean said Paige is good, but not on Caitlin's level. In what way? And that goes down to how we see the game. That's gonna go down to how we see the game. Like, I might say that Caitlin is not on Paige's level, and my evidence for why she's not is going to be all film work. But your evidence for why she is might just be the stats. You know, so we might view it different. Sean, caller, what's good?
Yo, bro, this is me, man.
Who is this?
It's Sean.
Oh, what's good? What's good, Sean? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Thank you for talking about LeBron and also the ring culture discussion. That was absolutely disingenuous. Coming from him. As far as like the WNBA, I agree that NC is going to be MVP. But bro, I mean, I get it, man. I get it. But Caitlin Clark not being at number 10. I'm not saying
once I redid it, I got her at 8 or 9.
Oh, I mean, no, that's fair. I get it, man. I get that people hate the hype about her and all, but here's the thing, though, man. We gotta blame us, man. If more of us actually support the WNBA, you will not see Caitlin Clark like that. I'm just saying.
Maybe not, man. I mean, it's so many.
Maybe not. Come on, man. We used to roast the WNBA even around the time when Lisa left.
I didn't roast it.
Well,
listen. when I was in North Carolina and Charlotte Sting had a team, and I think their best player, what was her name? Was it Stinson? She wore number 32. I went to them games. I went to more Charlotte Sting. I went to more Charlotte. Yeah, but I went to more Charlotte Sting games than I went to Charlotte Hornets games.
That's an exception.
Yeah, but so let me tell you what happened to the WNBA. Because I still remember when they first started the league, there was a lot of promotion. Their games was on NBC, and we know NBC know how to do basketball. There was a lot of promotion for it. I never forget, man. In North Carolina, I mean, it was T-shirts all over the place, man. It was commercials everywhere about the WNBA, and they was marketing Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo. I think Rebecca Lobo had just won at UConn, and she was like a great UConn player. And then you had Lisa Leslie. I mean, she was not as young as Lobo, but you know, she was young enough. So they was the two players that was getting marketed. That was the first game that was played that I seen. I think one was Lisa was in LA. Rebecca was in what was Rebecca at? New York? Was she in New York? I think here it was two big cities. right? So they did a good job marketing, and there was a lot of buzz. If you go back and look at the statistics that they show as far as ratings and attendance, you notice they never say this is the first that we've ever had these numbers. They say this is the first since, right? And
I get that.
Hold on. Let me finish.
We're not talking. Hold
on. Let me finish.
Okay.
So the numbers that we were seeing as far as ratings existed when the league first started, and those ratings sustained. Here's the mistake that the WNBA made. When their contract was up with NBC, somebody had the bright idea that we want to take the WNBA basketball and we want to put it on the women's network channel. They put it on Lifetime. They signed their they signed their second contract with Lifetime instead of with NBC. I don't know if that's because NBC didn't want them, but from what I remember, they said, they was the way Lifetime was advertising it is that women's basketball belongs on a women's network. And they took it and put it on Lifetime, and they went to Lifetime and died.
Okay, you give me on this. I didn't even know that.
Yes, that's what happened.
Knowledge.
Google it what year they went to Lifetime. That's the year they died. And I remember I was watching all the WNBA games. I mean, you couldn't tell me watching Cynthia Cooper with the Houston Comets and Cheryl Swoops and not Lisa Leslie, but Tina Thompson. It was a three-headed monster. They were unstoppable. There was a dynasty. It was so exciting. And when they went to Lifetime, I couldn't even find the games. They wasn't even advertising them. They wasn't even advertising the games, dog. It would just come on like any Lifetime movie. I seen a Lifetime movie called Chasing the Dragon, where this white woman she got on crack and she was playing Dungeons and Dragons in sewers and giving that coochie up for drugs. I seen that on Lifetime. That was crazy. Right after Chasing the Dragon went off, the daggone WNBA game came on. I said, man, look at this nonsense. I didn't even know the game was on tonight. I'm watching Chasing the Dragon, and here come the daggone WNBA game. No advertising whatsoever. No theme music, nothing. It was almost like one of them low budget corn videos where as soon as you put the cassette tape in and push play, they already having sex. That's what it was like. As soon as the game come on, it was jump ball. I said, golly, there wasn't no introduction.
Damn.
No theme music. None of that. How you put the game on after Chasing the Dragon? Hey, y'all think I'm making this stuff up, man? Look up that movie. Hey, nah. I can't make this up, man. Look up the movie Chasing the Dragon on Lifetime, and then look up what year they went to Lifetime. I'm not making none of this up, though. All this is facts, dog. All this is facts. Soon as it came on, it was like jump. I say, golly, jump ball already? Low budget. They did them an injustice, man. So that's what happened to the WNBA. It's an exciting game, though.
That's crazy. I mean, thank you for the insight, and the details are kind of crazy. I'm not gonna front. It's like,
hey, I'm full of details though, man. That's how I talk. I talk with details, man.
Jeez, I can't even say nothing else. I wanted to say something else, but that
yeah, see, but this things ESPN won't tell you or talk about, and definitely not these new Caitlin Clark fans who never watched the game that think that she the best thing since sliced bread. They won't tell you that either.
I never said that Caitlin Clark is like the best player yet. I mean, she's going to have to improve her game. I mean, she got to fix up with those turnovers and also be more versatile when it comes to her offense. But I mean, the saying, she's top 10, it's like not saying she's top 10. It's kind of like, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's not though. I mean, it's a basketball evaluation based on observation and not based on stat reading.
I watch the games. I mean, I'm not saying that because I actually read the stats. I watch more of the games than stats.
Right. So when you watch Paige play, You don't see a better player?
Yeah, I did watch her play.
Right. So do you see more like the more complete player 9 times out of 10 is the better player. Like you can't like if you're incomplete, it's going to be very hard for you to be better than what's complete. You get what I'm saying? Like if my hairline is incomplete and I'm balding and you got a full set of hair, if we both go to the barbershop to get a haircut, it's a very good chance your haircut go turn out better because you have a more complete set of hair.
Yo,
So,
bro, you're breaking up a little bit.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's like it's staticky. It's like it's giving like like 2004 robot sounds.
Oh, okay. Let me clear the line, man. I'll give you a call back then.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. But yeah, it's hard to be incomplete and be better than what's complete. You get what I'm saying? That's very hard. It's not impossible. It's because I think Shaq is not as complete player as like at his position. I think there was more complete centers. I think Hakeem was more complete 100%. But there's an argument to be had. There's an argument to be had that Shaq is a better player than Hakeem, maybe. Not in my opinion. I think Hakeem is better than Shaq. But there's an argument for Shaq over Hakeem, and Shaq is a more incomplete player than Hakeem. Caller from Kansas City was good. He hung up. Hey, Romeo D said that's an old flick, man, like 95. Yeah. Hey, look, and that validates my story. Go back and look what year that the WNBA went to Lifetime. Telling you, I watched Chasing the Dragon, and right after Chasing the Dragon, the game came on that was already jump ball. Caller was good. Oh, hold on. Caller, can you hear me? Caller. Yeah, phone acting up, y'all. I guess it happens sometimes. My device be overheating or something. I try one more time. If I can't get you in, then it's my device. Caller from Missouri, what's good? Yeah, he can't hear me. Yeah, hey y'all. So I'm gonna close the phone lines, man, because it seemed like my device is overheating or something, and now it's not taking the phone calls properly. So phone lines are closed, and we can get to the part where we end the show, y'all. But yeah, Hakeem is better than Shaq, but mainly because he's more complete, Sean. He's more complete, and Paige is a more complete player than CeCe. She's a more complete. I mean, right now, CeCe's game is, first of all, with a good defender in front of CeCe, everybody at the same time, say it, classroom, what is she going to need to be the good defender? A screen, right? She don't have the package to beat a good defender just by herself. The screen has to be involved. So she needs a high screen. She's in that same thing with Luka, Steve Nash, LeBron James, James Harden. I mean, even though James Harden do got that package one-on-one, but they gain the advantage for sure with that high screen, which is this illustration that I gave y'all last year, where you have those players that play hero ball, which means I always got the ball. I'm gonna make everything about me. We're not running the offense. We just go spread the floor. That's Jokic to a lesser degree because he's a post player. But for these ball handlers, these point guards and point forwards, LeBron, Westbrook, Harden, Caitlin Clark, and Luka on the left side, those are your best players that's going to have the ball in the middle of the floor, utilizing the high screen and roll so they can run full speed at the rim. And it's either going to be them getting a layup or them passing it out for a three. It's got, like, when you play that offense, you have to play 5-man out. And you have to have 3-point shooters almost at every position. All right, minus your screener. You can afford to have 1 3-point shooter, but that's the person that's setting the screen and rolling to the basket. Everyone plays that offense, right? So these players that need that type of offense are very limited, right? They're limited, and they need the ball, right? And it actually enables your teammates, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is, if they can't get downhill to get a layup, then they take a step back three. That's Luka, that's LeBron, that's Caitlin Clark, and that's James Harden. The only ones that don't play like that is because Westbrook isn't a good shooter. So it was all downhill for Westbrook. And then Jokic is not a point guard or point forward. He's a post player. So, but he plays that just from the post. Right. So now it's either a step back three all the way to the rim for a layup or a pass if you stop me from getting to the rim to the 3-point shooter. Right. So that's the first incompletion and limitation. Then the mid range is all a mystery. They can't utilize it. They don't utilize it. Right. Then on defense, they're definitely incomplete and a liability. I don't know what it is about the people who play this style of offense that also decides not to play defense, but I think it's because these type of players have a certain mindset, and for some reason they feel like if they're doing that much on offense, they should be able to not play defense. Right? So notice all the people on that list don't play defense, or they didn't play defense when they played that style, because maybe Westbrook got to play defense to get on the floor now, but when he played this style at OKC, it was optional. Defense is also optional for LeBron, and a lot of their teammates play defense for them. Right? So you hear about Jason Kidd saying we got to protect Luke on defense. Man, what the heck? They just named him a top 3 player in the league, and you got to protect him on the other end of the floor. That's 50% of the game. Right? So the hero ballers on the left, primary scorer, primary facilitator, rest on defense. That's what they do, and they have to have the ball. The team ball concept are the players on the right. Now notice, you got 1 ring for Jokic on the left and 3 rings for LeBron on the left. That's 4 rings. None for Westbrook, none for Harden, no NCAA championships or finals appearances for rings for Clark, and no rings for Luka. So you got 4. I can take the person with the less rings on the right that play team ball and defense, and they got more than 4. Kobe and Magic both got 5. Oh, Duncan got 5. So the least that one player has on the right side is 5, and that's more than all of the hero balls put together. Right? So, and picture that. But if we add them all up, 4 on the left, you got 6 with Kareem, 6 with Mike, that's 12. You got 5 with Magic, 5 with Kobe, that's 10. 10 plus 12 is 22. And then you got the 5 that Duncan got, that's 27 rings. 27 rings on the right with team ball concept. 4 rings on the left with hero ball concept. No defense on the left, defense on the right. Tim Duncan, Kobe, and Michael, I think they both got at least 9 all defensive teams to themselves. Kareem as well, all defensive team. The only one who don't have a lot of defensive teams is Magic. Right? So you got defense on the right, no defense on the left. You got team ball on the right, hero ball on the left. You got rings on the right, not that many rings on the left. But you know what they do got on the left? They got MVPs. You got 1 with Westbrook, 1 with Harden, 4 or 5 with LeBron, 3 with Jokic, and Luka is always in the discussion because he plays triple-double basketball, and we only respect numbers and points, rebounds, and assists in basketball all of a sudden, which is what Caitlin Clark has, which is why she's always going to be in the MVP discussion, and why people like my boy that just called in, are going to always mistake what she's doing as far as production as being a better player than someone like Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers she's playing the type of basketball that's on the right because she also plays defense. She also plays without the ball. She also can play with the ball. She can do ISO. She don't need a screen. She utilizes the mid-range. She even utilizes the post. She can come off screens and catch and shoot. And she can shoot the three. She does it all. So there's been 1 year in Caitlin Clark's life that she was better than Paige, and that was the year that Paige was fresh off of her ACL surgery and she was kind of still recovering and a step slow, and the year that Caitlin was just on one and led her team to the finals and got smoked like some boots. She was better than Paige 1 year of her life. Remember, Paige was the one getting all the player of the years and the ESPY awards, female athlete of the year. Remember, she got up there and said that speech and said, we got to give black girls more love in this sport. I'm getting a lot of attention because I'm white. And after she said that, every white supporter she had disowned her, and all the attention went toward Caitlin after Angel Reese did the "You Can't See Me" sign on her after she smoked her boots and sent her home. Right? And if you look at the rookie numbers, all her Paige's rookie numbers is better than Caitlin's except assists. But Caitlin only was averaging one more assist than Paige as a rookie. I think Caitlin's number was like 17 points, 7 assists, and maybe 5 rebounds. And I think Paige is 17 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. And then Paige is shooting close to 40% from 3. And Caitlin was shooting around in the low 30s. Right. And then Paige was shooting better from free throw and everything. And then Caitlin was averaging 6 turnovers and Paige is only averaging 2 turnovers as a rookie. Like their rookie numbers are kind of identical, but the way Paige is getting hers with least amount of turnovers, with least amount of time dominating the ball, and least amount of turnovers. Did I say turnovers? And the better shooting percentage. All of that shows that she's a more complete player and more pro ready. And that's all I got to say about that. And that's all I got to say about that. Any questions? Oh man, you found about Paige late. That's because ESPN don't know what they're doing. Wait till everybody find out about Juju Watkins. Sheesh. And don't nobody hate Paige. Don't nobody hate Paige. She's loved. She's loved. She got a tech a couple of games ago, and the team that she was playing against was looking at the referees like, dang, why you give her a tech? The opponents was doing it. I ain't seen nobody daggone try to rough her up or beat her up. None of that. Ain't nobody quote unquote jealous of her. She had a 35-point game this year. It's insane, y'all. It's insane. But yeah, man, 4-hour stream, man. This is the longest I ever streamed, man. I don't think I'll ever do this again. 2.5 hours is all I need. Right. So sorry to keep y'all this long, but I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate the phone calls, the super chats, and the comments and the likes. We did get up to we had 420 likes right now. So I appreciate that too, y'all. Let's make sure we keep them lights up every time we go live. I stay on live as long as I can, as long as the lights is up. But Thank y'all, man. I appreciate it, man. Peace.